Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Michael Dixon puts it down. Jason Myers, the kick is on the way. And the kick is up. And the kick is good. And the Seahawks win the game. They beat NFC West foe, the Arizona Cardinals, on the final play of the game.
Thank you to Seahawks Radio. Well, they're not going to send this tape to Ken. That was not a very pretty game last night. Seahawks do win, though, 23-20 in Pearl. These are those divisional games. They can get a little wonky. You're on a short week. Everyone's dealing with injuries. I totally get it. I had two big takeaways from this game last night. My first is that despite Seattle having a 3-1 record, they're going to lose a lot of games if they play this way. And what I mean by that is it got way too conservative. Jackson Smith and Jigba was not nearly a big enough part of the game plan, and they made a ton of mistakes that probably should have doomed them even more, but they got away with it because Arizona is almost is just worse. is worse. So for me, if you're, we're going to be high on Seattle here because they have the 3-1 record and maybe this division looks a little winnable and all that. I was not impressed with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, and I think they're going to lose a lot of games if they try to play this way. That was my first takeaway.
So you don't have them as a playoff team?
I did not wear that Arizona as a playoff team, but that's because I'm a dope. But I'm just saying at this point in the season, I don't like what they're doing. Now, maybe it's like, hey, we're feeling each other out. We got a new quarterback. It's Sam Darnold. There's a lot of new still happening with Seattle, and maybe it changes, but they don't trust him. It's clear. You have, in the fourth quarter, you're 4th and 2 at the Arizona 26.
Yeah.
You kick the field goal there to go up 17-3 when you could have applied a lot more pressure. And then you're inside of 5 minutes left to go. It's a one-score game. Arizona got off the mat at the very last minute. It was like that gif of The Undertaker where he sits up out of the coffin, the casket. And you call 3 straight run plays with under 5 minutes left to go.
Right.
You're not aggressive, and you end up missing a 53-yard field goal, which is how you got yourself into the quagmire to begin with, where you had to pull one out of your butt. I didn't love what they were doing in Seattle. They had a wounded opponent who was getting booed at home. They looked awful, and I felt like Seattle let them back into the game because the offense was not aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. They're 3-1, and this is their fourth game. They should 100% be 4-0. Reek Woolen single-handedly cost them a game. By the way, he to me is one glaring problem on Seattle. Big face mask last night. So they had a 4th down early in the game, like it was 4th and 3, and they totally didn't even come close. 4th and 2, I think.
Yeah.
So I totally understood. Arizona's offense couldn't even make the red zone the entire game. It was when you were talking about
painful.
that, when they went for that field goal in the beginning of the third quarter, it was 14-3. Like Arizona couldn't move the ball 2 feet. So why wouldn't Seattle go conservative in that particular point? Like their defense was dominating the game.
I know, but you had already had these missed opportunities even going back to the first half. Like Seattle, and I'm saying I don't think they're going to win a lot of games if they keep playing like this because it wasn't just the offense that got conservative. They also made some crazy mistakes. The Kobe Bryant interception, then he fumbles the ball because his own teammate ran into him. Like, you got to be aware. Arizona got the ball back, turned that into a field goal. And then the Kenneth Walker taunting penalty in the first half. That was going to be a 3rd and 3 that took them to a 3rd and 18. They end up having to punt. You can't do both. You can't.
First of all, that was a ridiculous call. It was a stupid call. The
I
guy grabbed
get it.
his foot. So you're going to blame them for that garbage? Like the NFL is doing this early. Also, that the fumble early, that was in the first or second drive of the game. Who cares? I'm
just saying, well, it led to Arizona some of the only points they put on the board last night until, 2.5 minutes left in the game.
DBs have no idea how to run with the ball. When the defensive guy gets the ball, it's always an adventure. The coach is always, get down. He's always like, I'm going to keep running. So you can't fault them. You can't look at the Seattle system and say because the guy fumbled an interception return in the first quarter.
No. What I'm saying is I think they'll lose games if they keep doing these two things together, which is making mistakes, or not being able to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes and also playing conservatively. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. And you're right about Arizona, though, on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't even know if this is like the PC thing to say, but if I had to root for Kyler Murray, I think I'd be like in a body bag. I don't, it must be so beyond frustrating to root for the Arizona Cardinals with him at quarterback. And I know that he's been doing this for a long time, and it's the play terribly, or it's either play well at first and play terribly down the stretch, or more likely play terribly in the beginning of the game and then put it together for this ultimate giant tease at the end where you score 2 touchdowns, but then you ultimately end up losing the game.
You called the Kyler Murray experience right there. Yeah, business as usual in Arizona.
Like it's so beyond frustrating, and either there's a couple things together. Their offensive line is either terrible. They were getting pushed around last night by Seattle. They couldn't block. Kyler Murray took 6 sacks. It felt like 16. He could not escape. His signature speed and elusiveness was not on display last night. Couldn't get the ball to Marvin Harrison. When he did get the ball to Marvin Harrison, that was an adventure. They ended up kind of redeeming themselves at the end of the game when he catches an unbelievable touchdown. But this Kyler Murray experience, if I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan, I want off this ride. I don't want to do this anymore. And we'll see what happens with the rest of the season, what their final record is. It's not going to be bad. But I don't want to do this I don't want this anymore. I'd rather have somebody who has less of a high ceiling, but has a much higher floor or consistency or something. And I'm not saying it's all his fault. Again, his line couldn't block for him. They don't have a lot of weapons now. James Conner is out, and they had very few days to scramble and make adjustments there. He can't see over the line. I don't want this Kyler Murray experience if I'm Arizona anymore.
That's funny. So you focus on Kyler Murray. I think America was focused on Marvin Harrison last night. Did he lose his confidence? So I think they drafted Harrison to hope to save Murray in that big contract. And obviously Harrison, by the way, kudos to that guy for coming back.
Yep.
I mean, I thought his confidence was shot after the bobble interception. And then both interceptions were really 100% on Marvin Harrison. So I thought he was dead. Yeah, I mean, the Murray thing, I feel like everyone kind of views it the same way. They've been stuck with this guy because of the contract, and they're just waiting to move on. And it's not even, you say the O-line is bad, but he's got to go back about 35 feet to see anything.
I know.
So it's structurally impossible. There's no high ceiling. There's no ceiling here.
Well, his athleticism, and he's...
No, I don't understand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has an ability to make these kind of wow plays. Like, there was a reason why he was taken number 1 overall.
What?
I'm saying he has this escape, not last night.
You mean his running ability?
His running ability, escape ability, but I don't want that. Like, I can't ride this roller coaster with him anymore.
No. Yeah, I don't think there's a high ceiling with him at all. He's got major limits. So the system has to be perfect and running like a fine-tuned machine for Kyler Murray to have a big game.
Yeah.
And that's not happening anymore. So, but by the way, credit to Seattle's defense. I think the reason Seattle was conservative that you were lamenting, their defense looks awesome this year. I mean, that is how Mike McDonald wants to win games. Like, you know what? I keep on, this is stupid. It makes no sense. But I keep on going back to that game where Sharon Moore handed the ball off 24 times.
Yeah, in college.
Yeah. Because McDonald's part of that Harbaugh Michigan machine, and he wants to win old school, hand the ball off and win with defense. And I think he's got the guys with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet to do that. I mean, Sam Darnold is an incredibly pleasant surprise. That dude he's just good. I mean, I'm sorry. There's just, say what you want about him. Some of the throws he made last night is like, whoa. And then he had that 30-yard run. He's still 28 and has some wheels. Like, I think he was the cheapest free agent quarterback out there. I think the Seahawks got a good deal. I disagree about losing a lot of games. I think they're going to be, I think they make a wild card, which is, for what it's worth, is good. Their schedule it gets harder than it has been, but it's not impossible. And Sam Darnold, much like last year, clearly can win a lot of regular season games.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens at the postseason if they get there. But
I would say he made 3 or 4 throws last night that are totally elite. I'll use that word with no fear. Yeah, and JSN did a great job heads up on that final drive. Well, first of all, the Arizona Cardinals kicker completely screwed up. He hit the extra point to tie the game at 20-20, and then on the kickoff, he can't get into the landing zone. Special teams. I know, man. He loves when special teams, and this is the season of special teams. We've mentioned that before because everyone seems like they're starting around the 35, and when you can kick a 55-yarder with ease, like, teams are playing for the 55-yarder. That happened last night. It burned Seattle at one point, but
the Arizona kicker doesn't hit the landing zone by like a half a foot.
Unbelievable.
And it comes out to the 40. So
what was he doing on that kick?
I don't know. One big JSN catch on the sideline. He gets out of bounds, and you're basically set up in field goal range. And that one was a wobbler.
By the way,
whatever, it got through.
This game would not have been. It would have been over if they that ridiculous holding call on JSN on Zach Charbonnet's touchdown that they called back.
Yeah, but you know what? I love that the referee didn't throw a flag on that. Like, the guy's got to be able to say something to the ref.
No, I mean, they probably say something all the time.
Yeah.
They just happen to catch on the mic.
Yeah, the guy stared him down. The ref stared him down.
Yeah, I mean, also the refs had called that stupid taunting penalty earlier. I think after that taunting penalty, the refs probably got a little gun shy because this is an outside the box idea. Why does every personal foul have to be 15 yards? Can't there be a degree of personal fouls? I've always wondered that. And with roughing the kicker, they finally instituted a 5-yard penalty. Is taunting 15 yards for taunting just seems like such a game changer?
Remember 5-yard face mask penalties?
I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think because they're trying to do a deterrent, but it's not working.
But all the penalties are not the same. There's such a wide range of it's one thing to do a helmet-to-helmet hit. It's another for a little taunt. I don't know. I just feel like that is way too impactful a penalty on what is a kind of a random little call.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
Jalen Carter's spit shouldn't be the equivalent of like a Amon-Ra St. Brown hip thrust.
Yeah.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, if you know what the worst is when the guy turns to the crowd and then goes to the sideline and then they give him a taunting on that one.
Yeah, you can have the entire defense run down to the other end zone and have a group picture, but yet that's not taunting.
Yeah, right.
That's
No,
not
you
a
can
15-yard
literally
penalty.
go row
That's
a
not
boat
delay a game
into the end zone. But here, can I do the other way too? Some of these big pass interference calls that will be like a 30-yard penalty or will set you up at 1st and goal when guys are just kind of chucking it up. How about let's just make all those 15 yards?
Like college.
Yeah, can it not be a 40-yard penalty?
Well, that's a great question too. That penalty is very impactful. But then again, if you interfere in the end zone, if that was a big deal. Yeah, usually it is. For me, it's the holding calls. I don't understand the defensive holding on a run play.
Oh.
And then Kirk Herbstreit was defending that play. I'm like, you're telling me the defensive lineman can hold an offensive lineman who's trying to get the second level? Just let it go. Yeah. It's so ticky-tack. So anyway, we could sit here and rip the officials all day.
Oh, no, I'm always here to beat down on the officials. But
Bill Walsh said they're incompetent idiots.
Yeah, right. That was our good audio from the 84 49ers season. So my two takeaways. I don't think Seattle's going to win a lot of games if they're going to play like this. I did not love how they looked on offense. Doesn't even look like they trust Sam Darnold in big spots, Pearl, even though you're right. He made some elite throws. Put the ball in Sam Darnold's hands when it's 4th and 2. You're saying that they're defensive first team, which I totally get, and their defense is very good. But you also have to play the game you're in. If you're up 2 scores and it's 5 minutes left to go, sure, maybe you can play that kind of, you can do 3 straight run plays, but you're up 1 score and your opponent just scored and you've given you're on the road, you breathe a little life back into the building. All of a sudden the fans that were booing Kyler Murray in the offense now are cheering them. They're a little louder on 3rd down. All those things, I thought the Seahawks should have been more aggressive on that final drive.
Yeah.
Second to last drive, pardon me.
The Seahawks are establishing an identity. I mean, they will. You know how Dan Campbell and the Lions are going to always go for it, that? The Seahawks are always going to be a smash mouth team. That's what they want to do, and they're going to stick to that. I think kind of when you're a run team, you have to commit to it. You can't just be like, well, sometimes we're going to run when it's convenient. And again,
but you have one of the best wide receivers in the league, maybe, with JSN.
Well, I mean, you saw him. They kept on showing footage. He was double teamed and opened up everything.
Yep.
He had 2 guys on him. And by the way, I mean, what a 4th quarter for JSN. He didn't even have a target until the 3rd quarter.
I know. He ends up with 4 catches on 5 targets for 79 yards.
Yeah, and I don't think his first target came until the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
So what a half. Kenneth Walker, he's one of those great, kind of say, he'll run backwards. He'll kill you on a play, but then he'll kill you. I think they're very physical, very defensive oriented. A couple of injuries that worry me, but yeah, I kind of like everything Seattle's doing.
Except for Reek Woolen. I know you're not a fan
What
of
is
his
the deal?
game.
He looks like he should be awesome. He's long, he's tall. He just feels like he makes mistakes at the wrong time. That drives me crazy, and I know that other teams are going to pick on him.
They were last night.
Yeah.
But it's just Arizona couldn't get anything going. Anyway, 888-710-4ISN until the very end of the game. 888-710-4476. So it ends up being a barn burner. Seahawks win it at the horn, 23-20. Did not have to be that tight. So are you more encouraged by the Seahawks or less after that? And Arizona, just start looking around at college quarterbacks. We're going to have a good matchup, we think, this weekend. Drew Aller, Dante Moore, Manny's already in all white. Getting ready for the whiteout.
Is this a possible preview of the next Cardinals quarterback?
Maybe. I think everything's on the table. Might be the Heisman frontrunner coming out of this game.
I feel bad. I feel like, I don't know. I don't really want to play. I don't want to be the Cardinals quarterback if I'm those guys.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Jonathan
Harrison.
Gannon. I just feel like this is not going to be a QB-friendly situation.
Well, we're going to get into a lot today. Not just this game last night, which we weren't really going to talk about too much, but ended up being a pretty interesting one down the stretch. So you're welcome to call in about that. I mean, for all the Rams fans in our audience, are you worried about these two teams at all? And 49er fans as well. And we got a huge weekend, both the NFL, college. We've got baseball coming down to the wire, the Ryder Cup. It's all happening.
There isn't a Cardinal quickie.
All right, Maggie. I have to tell you a dramatic tale of my Prize Picks experience last night.
Oh, boy.
So during the day, you know I'm a big JSN fan, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seahawks receiver. I immediately see that he's one of the options on Prize Picks, over 82.5 yards. Then I'm watching ESPN later in the day, and analytics guy Mike Clay explains why JSN will be de-emphasized tonight to go to the other receivers.
Oh, no.
So I go in and I change my pick to under 82.5. He's doing nothing all game, and then he goes wild in the second half, ends up with 79, which means that I came out on top. Prize Picks, the best place to put your takes to the test. So simple to use. Just pick two or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you win big.
What a roller coaster for you last night. Well, I'm looking at tonight, and did you guys know that Florida State's playing tonight? So that's a little chance to get behind Thomas Castellanos, 172.5. I would go more than, and then let's get behind the home team here. Brandon Sproat, they need him. 3.5 pitcher strikeouts. This is do or die time here for our Metsies. So let's go more than on that as well. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing, guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff Show. A lot of excitement in the air in New York City because of the Ryder Cup. I feel like, Maggie, we have to practice our trash talk for Team USA because, like, that is
They can hear us?
It's an assignment to everyone who's out in Long Island at the Ryder Cup to come up with clever trash talk to the Europeans. I personally am not a great in-the-crowd trash talker.
Yeah.
All I could really get out in Philly was a boo. Like, I was good at booing. I could boo everybody.
No, you're quick to your mom.
Yeah, but in a crowd setting, like you really got to be loud and like you have to. I'm a little shy compared to the other Philly fans. Like they will get to in Philadelphia, they'll get to the front row and scream personal things. I could never do that to a pro athlete, but we're actually seeing that in Long Island. It's getting guys are trying to one up each other, yelling at the European golfers. And to their credit, so far, the European golfers are laughing it all off. But honestly, that the Ryder Cup's awesome as it is, but this new sort of trash talking Ryder Cup is even better. I'm dying to see what happens this weekend.
Yeah, as if people didn't think New Yorkers were as obnoxious as we sometimes can be. I'm sure this Ryder Cup is not going to put to bed any stereotypes about what it's like to be in New York.
This is a particular brand of New Yorker, too. This is a Long Island New Yorker.
Yeah, this is what we call outer borough.
Yeah, this is a little different. But I think actually so far it's like kind of added to the sauce here, and I think it's all going to be really fun to watch.
Well, okay, let's think about it. We found out yesterday, we've been finding out that the European players are not only wore virtual reality headsets to mimic the boos that they're going to hear and some of the jeering. We had Ann Ligori on yesterday, who's award-winning golf reporter, who said that the European team hired a comedian to heckle the European players to get them ready. I'm like, you are giving the New York crowd way too much credit. A professional comedian, this is...
Oh, I disagree. Like, the New York crowd's funnier than any comedian. I saw Matt Fitzpatrick was trying to chip in, and guys were taking turns saying, that's the worst chip I've ever seen. But it was going there. I'm a big fan of crowdsourced humor. I think the New York fan base is hysterical.
All right, here's a little of U.S. fans jeering Rory McIlroy about his penchant for choking.
You don't need a button to choke, Rory. Thank you.
Well, to be honest, that was more a visual.
Level.
Rory was trying to put the top button on his shirt.
All right.
It worked pretty good.
That was a good one. Yeah, if you see the visual, he's literally trying to button his shirt when he says that. He's trying to button the top of his shirt,
Yeah,
Maggie.
the collar. Okay.
Even the other European guys were all like,
Here's more from Rory. Can I hear cut 18 coming out to the loud boos during his practice round?
Yeah, take that.
Professional athlete. Take those boos.
well, I mean, Rory's never been booed. He's secretly, you can almost see the tears slowly going down the right side of his.
Well, what's all that VR training for if you're not going to toughen up?
Good trash talk, guys. Good job.
Do you think anyone's ever booed Rory McIlroy in his entire life?
Maybe in his own family.
Maybe normal Irish people?
I'm just kidding. He just went 11 straight years without winning a
yeah.
major. Can I also hear Cup 14? Now, this is Colin Morikawa, who's on our team, Team USA. He wants fans to bring chaos to the Ryder Cup.
I hope Friday's just absolute chaos. I'm all for it. I think it feeds into who we are and the American players and the American team. We want it. Like we want to use that to our advantage. I think every sport uses their home crowd to their advantage.
Okay, I get what he's saying here. I might be a little careful. You don't need to encourage this crowd. They're already going to be on 10. Andrew Bogusch is here. He takes the train in from around this area, Long Island, into New York. EJ's also on the train. You already saw fans packed into the trains at 5 o'clock in the morning. And guys, they're going to be drinking like now. Like you don't have to.
What a life.
You don't have to encourage this crowd. Happy Gilmore 2 just came out. I think there's this lawlessness in the air about golf. Be careful here. We don't want it to spill out into something untoward.
The only problem, though, is there's nothing open in Penn Station to buy beer at 5 a.m. So people either brought their own or if they showed up trying to get some in the train station before they left, they were disappointed. But, yes, it was absolutely packed this morning.
Wait, Bogusch, you've been in the game long enough. You're on a train at 5 o'clock in the morning for a golf tournament. You're packing your own party.
You probably, but normally you would think at a normal time going to an event through Penn Station, there are multiple places to grab a beer, but everything is still closed at 5:06 a.m. when this train was leaving. So you were SOL if you were trying to get one live in the moment in Penn Station.
Man, you know what would have been great? Because, it's a lot of people who are selling concessions in Penn Station, which is, the major train hub outside of Grand Central in New York City, are generally probably immigrants from countries who may not be so hip to the Ryder Cup. Imagine if there was one guy who just happened to have his stall still open. He would have made a killing today. He would have where are all these people coming from?
Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts was doing well, but they don't have alcohol. It was that one. That was the first clue. Was people literally out the door of the Dunkin' stocking up for their ride?
Yeah, that was
out
weird.
today.
It looked like 4th of July in the Hamptons.
I hope they were prepared because usually there's 25 people in this whole place. It's like our train that empties at this one time. So you have your pick of what's ever open. And today you had no chance because there were just
put
golfers
a little Bailey's
everywhere.
in there. And that
there you go.
Dunkin'.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I feel like
I like that.
I feel like Maggie is ready to go right now.
I know this
More so
crowd,
than people
guys.
on the train.
She also said
I
that
feel this is about you. You're like,
she's ready
throw some Baileys into my coffee. That's what I'm hearing.
ready to drink and heckle some Europeans.
Right. She had a great chirp of Rory McIlroy after saying that New Yorkers aren't funny. You're a New Yorker by now, and you're chirping his family life because he almost got divorced.
Listen,
That's when
I'm
he's
just
gonna hear it for
reading the
3 straight
news,
days.
okay? I'm just reading the headlines.
Listen, by the way,
I just said he got booed in his own family. That's all I said.
But that's funny, and it's going to be said today.
Actually, I'm kind of sad because he married a woman from Rochester, which you guys know, near and dear to my heart.
Why?
Husband's from there. Sorry, Pro, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, listen, when you have Colin Morikawa trash talking, that is hard to top. I mean, move
even bother
over
showing
Gilbert Arenas. Here comes Colin, who's literally the nicest person in all of sports. He is as gentle as a lamb. That's the other thing. These actual golfers, if you look at them, they're all best friends on both sides. There's no real.
Well,
it's not exactly
not
like
Koepka
Ohio
and
State,
DeChambeau.
Michigan.
There's a couple rivalries.
Everyone hates Bryson DeChambeau. Is there really any other rivalry? These guys
That's
are all
about it.
millionaires who live in Jupiter, Florida. Every single one of them.
Well, they're not. They're trying to just incite the crowd.
Yeah. But I do think, for example, Colin Morikawa is yes, I hope that the crowd is really, come on. This is golf. At the end of the day, it's not going to be Ravens Steelers from 2005.
I don't know, man. I think that the seltzer, the canned seltzer game has really changed the drinking on the golf course because, you have like 7 beers. That's kind of heavy. You have 7 White Claws. You're still getting that in, what do they call it? The transfusion at the turn. It's like vodka, grape juice, and a little something else.
Wait until the THC seltzers make their way out to Long Island.
Well, that might calm them a little.
It depends when you have them.
Depends on
what's your base.
Depends on what
time of day
it's derived from.
The other thing, you've been to that course, right? Or
Yes.
The thing is, you can't walk it. I mean, it's like each hole is 16 miles long.
Legitimately hydrate.
I think all the fans are going to fall off by the 4th hole. Like, I don't know how they're going to follow all these guys. It's the second longest course in America, but I think it plays even longer.
And it's got these hills. People are, they dress like they're playing golf when they go to watch these things. You need to dress like you're taking a hike. Like you need like a walking stick and boots and maybe a backpack with water.
Hey, by the way, I'm sorry. A little bit of a double standard. It's been, I don't know if this has been in a lot of your feeds lately. There was a Philadelphia Eagle fan calling out people who wear a different jersey to the game you're going to. And he calls it wrong game. Bleep, bleep.
I agree.
Right. And that is, but we have no problem with fans showing up at a golf tournament like they're going to play. Everyone shows up. This is a big thing.
Do you want them to wear parkas? It's a summer sport.
No, but they wear cleats. It's spikes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Spikes is a little much. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
I don't know about the spikes because
people wear their golf shoes to golf tournaments because you're walking the course maybe. But I was shocked the first time I covered a major how many fans look like they were like, oh my gosh, if Colin Morikawa twists an ankle, I'm ready to go in.
I mean, golf clothes are comfortable. Now that's all like sweat wicking stuff. So it makes sense to wear it in general. But the cleats thing, especially if you're like clacking on the ground with your metal spikes, like that's a little lame.
So I thought a Team USA guy was at Penn Station this morning because all of them looked like they could have been playing today.
Right, but you actually saw them wearing spikes?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm actually impressed. Like a fan to go to a golf tournament wearing spikes, that's awesome.
Can you imagine Pearl walking into the link with spikes on?
Oh, yeah.
Shoulder pads.
Yeah, like have 2 pairs of cleats just in case.
It's like Nolan Smith is out, but I got it, everybody.
I'm going to spat my shoes, like just wear like loafers, but have them all taped up.
Hockey fans, step your game up.
Could you please do that?
Oh my God! I didn't know this
buy your ticket.
I never even dawned on me to wear the proper shoe wear as a fan. That's amazing.
Meanwhile, let's get to Bogusch.
But what is that called? Because it's not called the wrong jersey. The Kelsey brothers had it.
It's called wrong game. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wrong game. Okay. Yeah, that
if you're
always
wearing a
crazy.
Dolphins jersey to an Eagles Rams game,
it's insane behavior.
You're going to get called wrong game. Mm-hmm.
All right, but what if I wear a Knicks shirt to a Mets Pirates game at Citi Field?
Well, they were saying you might as well just wear a different sport.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's better. I don't love it, but it's much better.
Yeah, but they also, I didn't love this video because they called out someone who was wearing an old school Rams shirt. I'm like, you can wear a Kurt Warner jersey to a Rams-Eagles game. That's totally fine. It's Rams and Rams. It's a different city, but it's still the same thing.
That's okay, right?
Yeah, I know. They highlighted a guy who was wearing an actual old school Rams jersey. Like,
that's
wrong
fine.
Game. Mm-hmm. Like,
no, that's fine. No, it's just you can't wear a different team that's not playing.
Yeah, someone who was wearing an Amani Toomer jersey to an Eagles-Rams game.
Yeah,
First of all, you're asking to get pelted in the back of the head.
That's just a look at me, Larry. Like, what's wrong with you? Just wear a regular shirt.
Can I
give
you a caveat, though? I think if you're in Europe and if you're living abroad and you go to a game, maybe I could see it. It's like, all right, I'm coming to this game because I have no choice but to watch Jags. Jags every year.
No, that doesn't. Nobody's holding the London fans to accountability.
I'm saying expats living abroad.
Yeah, of course. Like that, if you were in London, you show up in your Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, Sunday
jersey,
morning that game is going to be full of every jersey.
Every jersey. And I kind of like that actually, because then you could maybe, if you're living abroad, you find someone. Hey, I'm also Seahawks fan.
Those London games look like the NFL draft.
They do.
It's just like people wearing whatever jersey. They represent all 32 teams. It's great.
Yeah. All right, folks, let's go.
Your headline, sponsored by Prize Picks. Don't miss any of the action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download Prize Picks, use code PRIMETIME.
Katie's off the chain.
And get a $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Deeper. We're roughly, 35 minutes away from the start of the Ryder Cup, presented by Ann Liguori. There were already fans in the stands. That's a full Ann Liguori song that was, what's the right word? Commissioned by one Greg Giannotti years and years ago.
Oh, I wish we had played that for her yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, she knows it exists.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. But that's a way back machine.
That was Gio?
No. Gio had a real person record an Ann Liguori song, if I'm remembering the story correctly.
Oh, you could be
But
completely
this was
lying.
made for Ann Liguori.
This could be completely
she's
false.
a legend.
This could be completely false, 100%.
Not completely false. A detail or two off, yes, but not completely false.
Okay, go ahead.
This song was made by someone here for her.
Muy bien.
Yes.
Ann's got motion.
There were
Ann's
already
got a thick skin.
fans in the stands at the first tee before 6 a.m. Eastern this morning, so U.S. Captain Keegan Bradley paid them a visit. They're dudes dressed like colonial Americans in the front of this video, chanting Keegan. So let's go. They definitely had Bailey's in their Dunkin' this morning. The first tee time is 7:10 Eastern. It's alternate shot this morning. Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas against John Rahm and Terrell Hatton in that very first group. This definitely makes sense. Patrick Mahomes and Sam Darnold now have the most game-winning drives in the NFL since the beginning of last season.
Excuse me?
Darnold got to number 7 on Thursday Night Football, hustling his Seahawks down the field for Jason Myers' 52-yard winner, 23-20 over the Cardinals.
Good to get the win, and to do it in the 2-minute drive and get that big play to Jax at the end was huge. And I feel like the complimentary football, not just today but all season has been really good. And we're just going to continue to get better from there.
It was a 22-yard connection with Jackson Smith and Jigba to set up Myers' kick. Seattle.
How about Jason Myers with the smelling salts right before that kick?
I thought they were
hyped me
illegal
up.
now.
Oh, that hyped me up.
Yeah, what's the deal? I was wondering the same
You got
thing.
to bring your own.
Yep.
Oh, you have to
you're
bring
allowed to bring your own.
It's they're just not the teams. You got to get high on your own supply.
Exactly. BYOS. Bring your own salts.
Who thought that last kick was going to miss?
Oh,
I did.
me.
Yeah, what an
I thought it
adventure.
did miss.
Yeah,
Did you
it
want a
kind of.
replay?
I can't even explain the trajectory of that kick.
Is they slice that, to use a golf term? I think that's what a slice is, right? When it fades to to the right like that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Sam Darnold, who's waiting for the other shoe to fall? I am a backer. I don't think the other shoe is going to fall, but I sense that, Maggie, you think that this Cinderella ride is going to end.
I only have 8 years of evidence.
Oh, wow.
And you keep saying that. All the guy does is threw 35 touchdowns and won 14 games last year. He's 3-1 this year.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is going to throw 50 touchdowns if he plays for the Minnesota Vikings the rest of the season.
Sam's playing even better this year. I mean, he's amazing. He's definitely making the Pro Bowl at this rate. I mean, that's
whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, that means nothing.
He's like the 20th highest paid quarterback in the league, and he's
You said 20th?
yeah, he's way down there. Yeah, there's like 20 quarterbacks who make more money than him. Dubious.
Also, he's definitely not making the Pro Bowl in the NFC.
No, he probably will because two of the first 3 guys will drop out.
Somebody will play in the Super Bowl.
He has
will
a
be there.
100.
Oh, as an alternate, we're not even counting that.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
but we do, unfortunately.
all right. Well,
They're
that's
real-
He has a
real-
Huntley was a
106.5
Pro
rating.
Bowler.
Right.
no, but I'm looking at the other quarterbacks in the NFC who are going to be in the Pro Bowl mix.
Like Jackson Dart, yeah.
Oh, is it?
If Matthew Stafford stays healthy,
Ooh.
Baker Mayfield always makes the Pro Bowl, it seems. Jordan Love, if he gets his act together. Obviously, Jared Goff might be in the MVP conversation if they keep playing like they did last week. Maybe Jane Daniels if he comes back. Jalen Hurts.
A long way until we got to Jalen
Dak.
Hurts, huh?
Dak's numbers
She still
are
hasn't
awesome.
Not
mentioned
Dak.
Jalen. She still hasn't
I would say
mentioned Jalen.
Sam is definitely playing better than Jordan Love. And Stafford, do we really trust that one?
Well,
And
Also-
he ain't going to the Pro Bowl with that back, no matter what.
Yeah, and also the Rams have been kind of conservative. I don't know. I feel like he's right there with all those guys. I thought you were going to give me the AFC. If you had Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes, it would make me nervous. And Daniel Jones, I can't forget him in the AFC.
Of course.
Indiana Jones.
Of course.
I just think that all the former New York quarterbacks, like people have trouble trusting them because of what happened in New York.
no, it's not even that. Sam Darnold, just the last 2 games of last season, I have trouble trusting.
Yeah, he was under immense pressure in both games. I mean, I think he's playing great this year. I thought even last night he made throws. I'm like, whoa, what is the deal with that throw? That touchdown, the Barner in the first half, that was a gorgeous throw. So, I do understand this idea that he's going to turn into the old Sam Darnold, but it might win a lot of games.
Again, his team is 3-1. Arizona drops to 2-2, losing at the buzzer for the second time in 5 days. Here's their head coach, Jonathan Gannon.
3 phases really for now 4 games, pretty good sample size. We just haven't put it together like I think we're capable of putting it together. Those are just words. It's my job to make sure that we put it together. So that's what we'll be working on.
There's not an ounce of emotion in that. His team only had 6 points after 3.5 quarters. They couldn't run the ball. Kyler Murray threw 2 picks and was sacked 6 times. Didn't know J.J. Redick, and he didn't or deserved one, but he got an extension from the Lakers yesterday.
What?
He had a 4-year deal when he got this job just a year ago. Terms of this add-on not reported yet. And the Seattle Mariners just keep going. They beat the Rockies last night, 6-2. That didn't seem right when I wrote it. That means they've clinched now a first-round bye on top of being AL West champs for the first time since 2001. Guys, back to you.
And let the rest versus rust debate commence in Major League Baseball. We got a really big weekend coming up, folks. Thanks so much, including Dak Prescott says it's not Dak versus Micah on Sunday night. Do we see it that way? M&P.
Here we go.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Wrestling is trash, Bogusch declares. Old John Cena, don't get me started on his George Flair. He mocks the attitude era, calls it a joke. Who wears jean shorts while throwing a choke? Manny Rodriguez with his fiery take, saying Bogusch is the worst, he's a total fake. He's no Fordham great, just a loudmouth dud. I'd pick John Cena over this clown any day, bud. Manny Rodriguez with his fiery take, Bogusch is softer than my tiramisu souffle. He's no Mike Wilbon, who's classy and wise. Bogusch just a guy with delusional ties. Mike Wilbon laughs from his ESPN seat. Bogusch thinks he's clever, but he's obsolete. Stick to your rants and your green betrayal plan. You couldn't lace up John Cena's wristbands, man. Man, he's got the mic and he's taking his shot. Bogusch, you're all talk and you've lost the plot. Wrestling, green, and fortified, you dissed them all. Susie Wilbon and Manny, man, you're bound to fall. Meanwhile, his Lex, still not at work. Bogusch just laughs, that guy's such a quirk. Fordham's finest, now he's burned that bridge. Wrestling, Breen, and Susie straight off the ridge. Remember Bobo Brazo, I grew out of wrestling.
Minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
I think I went to school, watched less wrestling. Bob Custer in Nevada. 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 Bob Custer in Nevada.
2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Big game Sunday night, obviously. Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, both talking to the media before the big Packers-Cowboys showdown. Pearl, and welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Now, Micah Parsons said earlier this week it would be painful to have to sack Dak Prescott. He looks at him as a mentor, obviously loved him as a teammate. I think, although at the end it got a little dicey there with a report that maybe Dak had grown sick of Micah Parsons' podcast. That was from Albert Breer. He's pretty respectable and reputable. That Micah's acted worn a little thin, and it went all the way to the quarterback was the reaction. But anyway, everyone's talking nice now. This Green Bay Packers defense, though, is legit. 10 sacks already on the season. Rashawn Gary has 4.5. Cowboys are missing not only 2 offensive linemen, but CeeDee Lamb. So if Green Bay gets out to a good start here, they're going to be playing from behind, which means Dak's going to have to throw more, which means more opportunities for Micah Parsons to get in Dak Prescott's face.
Yeah, and Micah has been a pressure-creating machine. He's 6th in the NFL in pressures, and he's barely even played his full number of snaps yet. I mean, can you imagine once he gets into shape? The one thing about Micah sacking Dak, I don't think getting sacked by Micah Parsons hurts that much.
Physically or emotionally, mentally, spiritually?
Physically.
Okay.
I feel like Micah only weighs about 240, where if you get hit by Myles Garrett, that's a total killer. So I think that's the only difference. I think he's going to gently take Dak down. Micah doesn't really blow up. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Is this Michael Strahan against Favre for the sack title?
I feel like Micah doesn't really destroy quarterbacks like LT used to do. I feel like Micah is just, he's actually small, let's face it, for his position. So I feel like Dak weighs almost exactly the same thing. I think it's going to be sort of a gentle takedown. That's my prediction, because he's definitely getting the quarterback. The scenario you just described, offensive line hurt, no CD, so they're going to be in 3rd and long. But I don't think he's going to really destroy Dak. I'd be surprised if there was a big hit on Dak Prescott.
Okay, there are times when Perloff's cut me out of the video. I don't want to be associated with this take. I don't want to be associated with Micah Parsons' sacks are gentle. I don't want to be associated with he's going to rock Dak to the ground like a baby. I don't think that's going to happen. That dude is 99% muscle. I think that would hurt immensely. I don't want to be associated with this take.
Well, I mean, how much do you think Micah weighs and how much do you think Dak weighs?
I'm just saying, I know the weights, but you have one guy standing still and you have another guy who's basically at a fullish sprint if he's left unblocked. This could be pretty bad, and I don't think that Micah's going to hold up. I do not. But Dak Prescott also said, he also said it's not me versus Micah. Dak versus Micah. He said that's not what this game is. But I think for some fans, it is like that, because if the Cowboys had any foresight in this whole situation, they knew they had Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons all needing new deals. If you had actually had a little foresight and a little bit of planning, there's a world where Dak Prescott's the odd man out, right? Where they decide that maybe CeeDee and Micah are more important, and you start over with a younger guy
wait.
2 years ago.
When does that ever happen where the quarterback is the third priority?
Well, I just think there's a lot of also Cowboy fans out there who never believe that Dak Prescott's going to be able to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the reality of the NFL is I don't think there's any team that wouldn't sign the quarterback. You have to sign the quarterback. In fact, teams make big mistakes overreaching a quarterback. There's no situation where you'd be like, well, we have a great pass rusher, a great wide receiver. Let's let the quarterback go.
Again, it's been 10 years. And
I know, but I mean, like the reality when push comes to shove, who's going to play quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and is he going to be better than Dak Prescott? Like, you're not going to go to, I don't even know what your option was. It going to be Cooper Rush. So, yeah, was there really an option? If they had just let Dak walk, would that have made any sense?
No, but I mean, you have a team coming to town to play you that has always had the foresight of finding the next guy, even while you still have the current guy. And it's just the irony, I guess, that they're coming to town. It's the Packers, and I don't think Jordan Love is going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers or as good as Brett Favre, but that would have been insane if he was. I don't know. I just think that you have to weigh this if you're a Cowboy fan of, Micah's an amazing talent, CeeDee's an amazing talent, and you don't think Dak Prescott's ever going to win you a Super Bowl. And I do think that's what a lot of Cowboy fans think.
You think they'd rather have? I'm not sure about that because I think that there's, as we found out, a lot of mixed feelings about Micah Parsons. He talks a little more than he plays almost because Jerry Jones, there was at least logic there. He's like, this guy is a 245-pound defensive end, outside linebacker who was hurt last year, and he wants to be the highest paid at his position by a long stretch. At least you could see, to me, that makes more sense not paying that guy than not paying the quarterback because, unfortunately, you need a quarterback.
Yeah, but you're on the wrong side of 30, and Dak Prescott's had his own injuries.
Quarterbacks don't get on the wrong side of 30. It's not a speed position.
Well, okay. I mean, not everybody plays awesome into their mid and late 30s.
Well, I think
we're watching Russell Wilson right now.
I think 32 is not. I mean, if Dak didn't have his injury, 32 is nothing for a quarterback. He's a baby. I mean, we'll see Joe Flacco out there at 40 slinging it away.
Yeah, but I don't know how many Browns fans want to continue that experiment.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, Dak should have at least 5 more years of peak play. I don't think that's the concern at all. Dak doesn't run anymore. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
He was great when he did run. Yeah, I don't know. At least all I'm saying, at least there is a logic to moving on from Parsons. I don't think it was the right move, but Jerry can squint and say, hey, $47 million is a lot for one guy.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Where does Cowboys-Packers rank for you guys in terms of the whole weekend full of stuff?
Are you kidding me? Up there.
Yeah, because
top 2, and I don't think it's number 2.
Because they're the Sunday night. So all the baseball will be done by then. Ryder Cup will be done by then. They're going to really have the stage to themselves after this insane weekend.
What more do you want if you're Roger Goodell?
I don't think it's that high for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I got Ravens Chiefs over it for one. That's the one game.
Definitely.
I mean, that game is massive. This game is not massive because I don't think the Cowboys are going anywhere.
But that game has to compete with some other stuff. Like, if you are a baseball fan, I know baseball doesn't really compete with the NFL when it comes to total eyeballs, but if it's one of your teams that's in one of these crazy races to make the playoffs, you're going to be maybe a little split.
But the game started 3:05 Eastern, right?
Yeah.
You'll get those games over with and still have a whole half of Ravens.
Definitely.
Yeah,
to watch the Ravens blow a lead. Sorry, Ravens.
Man.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got Mahomes and Lamar. That seems pretty high end.
And I'm going Oregon, Penn State over Cowboys, Packers. I don't think the Cowboys are that good. Clearly, I also am still dubious of who the Packers really are. So to me, I'm always still for give me the best teams playing. I don't know if these are the best teams. It's an interesting storyline, I guess. But I gotta watch the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb play football. And under any other circumstances, I would pass.
That sounds like a good time to me.
Big game for the Packers.
Yeah, which is probably why they'll smoke the Cowboys. But again, I feel like, again, if I'm going to watch athletes play or teams play, I want to see the best teams. I'm used to watching the Jets. So if I got to watch some good football, I want to see elite teams.
No, we all get to watch the Jets because they got Monday night.
No one's watching that game. I think that CeeDee being out is the main problem here. Because there's a second game, too, on Monday night.
Oh, it's a double
Yeah,
header.
you get to see Jake Browning. Why would you watch the Jets?
Jake Browning and Bo Nix, baby.
Wow, amazing. Catch the fever. Give me a seatbelt. All right, coming up next, what are the stakes in that Oregon game?
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Milani and Young, the deep men. And here's a kick that's going to bounce on the ground. Flags are down. It bounced before the landing zone, outside the landing zone.
Short free kick by the kicking team. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
Boy, what a mistake by their kicker.
Oh, man. Thank you to Seahawks Radio. Yes, it was a big mistake because the game was tied with under a minute left to go. And because of that kick landing short of the landing zone, Pearl, came out to the 40-yard line. Sam Darnold didn't need to go too far, even though he made a great pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba on that final drive. And their kicker was able to set up for the game winner. So Seattle escapes 23-20, a game that did not have to be this close. And to me, the big takeaway was if Seattle plays this conservatively and they make the mistakes they made in this game, they're actually not going to win a lot of games. The Cardinals were not a great opponent last night because they couldn't get anything going against the Seattle defense. I did not love the game plan for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't see it that way at all. They won a road game in the division against a team that makes, I told you coming into this game, every game involving the Cardinals comes down to one score. Every game ever. They're going to be 7-10, and they're going to have a bunch of hard-fought one-score games because they are tough on defense. That Cardinals D is no joke. Calais Campbell, I don't know how he keeps doing this, a defensive lineman, dominant. So I kind of say they beat a decent team on the road. Like, there's no shame in that. And again, when they needed to make the big play, they did.
So I think the new kickoff rules and special teams, which we, kind of barely really talk about unless someone has a huge mistake, it's just having such a big impact on the NFL because you're looking at, Arizona goes on a 12-play drive, okay, to tie the game up with less than a minute left. The drive for Seattle starts at the 40 because of that mistake, and Sam Darnold has to go 26 yards.
Yeah.
It's like even Sam Darnold can do that. He put together, and I'm sorry, that sounds disrespectful, but I'm saying even a quarterback who I don't feel is elite can get you 26 yards. And it was a 22-yard pass to JSN, and then they're playing for the field goal. Like, you don't even have to be aggressive now because the kickers also, are nailing it from 55. So between the new kickoff rules and the kickers being so lights out, this is like it's combined for this weird, I don't know. It's changing the NFL. I can feel it. I can see it.
So college football used to be awesome because they stopped the clock on the first downs. And there was no lead it could be a minute 30 left and you might have a half hour of football ahead of you because they kept on stopping. Now they rush it along a little faster. So I love this ability to come back, and it makes the late game strategy so much more important. Like, basically, the Cardinals should have killed a little more time before tying the game because they left too much time. I think it's great. It adds a whole new element of competitiveness and strategy, which is what you want. By the way, Sam Darnold, definitely, you say he's not a lead in that fourth quarter. What was the stat? Like, he's getting up all time in fourth quarter comebacks. Like, he good in this spot.
No, I meant elite globally. Like, I don't think of him as a tier one quarterback.
I mean, I don't know.
He's not a tier one quarterback.
But he's definitely good. I mean, he made the Pro Bowl last year. I'd say we just had this argument. Probably make a Pro Bowl this year. Like tier one, like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or tier one, like top half of the league.
No, tier one, like the elite players in the league.
Well, he's definitely good enough to do a game-winning drive. He's got a million of them.
But I'm just saying, okay, he's got a million of them.
But you knew he was going to hit it because he was pretty on point last night. He was going to hit those passes. They should have had a game-winning field goal a previous drive after a big play he had to JSN.
Yeah, but I also watched Sam Darnold in week one, put together some nice throws in the final minutes and then ultimately come up short against the 49ers. So
that was they had the win there, too.
Well,
and they let the 49ers drive because of a bunch of defensive mistakes, ironically.
Yeah, but Sam ended up making some throws, but then didn't he throw a pick on his final drive at home against the 49ers, if I'm remembering? A strip sack, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the fact that he only had to go 26 yards and then with 18 seconds left, they're playing for the field goal, for the 52-yarder after their kicker had just missed a 55-yarder on the last drive. Like, I just think you'll lose games this way. But anyway, that's me. They do win. They're 3-1, and the division is definitely up for grabs.
So the NFC West is interesting. They have the easiest schedules. The Niners have that. Everyone talks about the Niners. All the AFC West gets. The NFC West gets the AFC South. So I think the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Rams are playoff teams. Now the problem is there's not going to be enough room for all the good NFC teams. So Seattle is going to be right in that mix. Somebody's going to get left out. It could be Minnesota. It could be Green Bay or Detroit. Probably not Green Bay or Detroit. It could be Washington. It's going to be really very, very competitive NFC. I was trying to redo my playoff picture. It's impossible because maybe you don't see them that way, but Seattle clearly looks like a playoff caliber team to me, and they could get frozen out. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I mean, 3-1, they're probably going to be a 10-win team. Do you not see them that way?
They've been a 10-17 team.
Yeah. Right. So they're going to be right on the brink of playoffs. So Arizona, however, if Arizona had come away with a win, then maybe we'd be saying that about them. They feel like they're just a tick below the playoff teams.
I think so. 888-710-4ISN. I can't even imagine if you had to root for the Cardinals and root for Kyler Murray. How do you even do that? It'd be so frustrating because the guy is awful, and then he'll put together these sort of miracle drives at the end, just enough to tease you, and then you lose. Ugh, brutal. Meanwhile, that's a little what's going on with the NFL last night. We have amazing games this weekend with the NFL, but Pearl, college. Manny's already in his Penn State white. We get the whiteout 7:30 Eastern time. It's going to be Penn State and Oregon. Couple numbers for you here. 18th whiteout, official whiteout. Sometimes the students will do it on their own, and the one against SMU in the playoff doesn't count. 11-16, but 5-0 since 2019. Second time we've had a whiteout matchup between two top 10 teams. That was when Penn State played Ohio State. Ohio State won 27-26. Penn State 1-3 in whiteouts versus top 10 opponents. 2016 was the last win against Ohio State. So there's little numbers.
That's enough out of you.
A couple numbers behind it.
They're worse numbers. Those are good numbers compared to the overall James Franklin numbers.
If you want the James Franklin numbers, I have those as well.
I'm good.
He is 2-15 against top 5 opponents. He's 5-20 against the top 10. So who's got the most at stake, Pearl, in this whiteout game? Because I'll be honest, I actually don't think it's James Franklin for once.
I think this is. We all know those numbers, the James Franklin numbers against top 10 teams.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I think, at least on paper, this is the best Penn State team since probably '95, the year that Kyle Brady was there.
Oh gosh,
this is. I mean, they're just so stacked. Like that, maybe all that James Franklin history doesn't even matter. They have pros at every single position, like deep, like. They've just accumulated so much talent that I don't even know if they can blow this. To me, you're saying James Franklin, it's like this is the big test for, is Drew Aller good? That's the only thing. If Drew Aller is good, then there's no way Penn State should lose this game.
I think that Drew Aller and Dante Moore, both quarterbacks for these teams, both have way more at stake than James Franklin. And here's what I'm saying about this. James Franklin, I don't think anyone's expecting him to ever win the big game. And by the way, they got to the Final Four last year. I don't know if that completely got the monkey off his back, but I just don't think that people... It's like if he loses this game, ho-hum. Like
I disagree on this one. Like this was one in a whiteout at home with this team. I think there's more pressure on him. I don't think it's a normal, like all those games against Ohio State through the years. Like they were clearly, they were clearly the second best team on the field.
Yeah, but they have a loss to Iowa in there when they were a 9.5-point favorite. There's a couple, not just Ohio State and Michigan, but a lot of it is Ohio State and Michigan. That's what we're talking
about. Right. We're really talking about those games. They were going up against real high-level teams. I just think that like they really don't have an excuse to lose this game. Now that they sort of added wide receivers in, they still have these crazy future pros all over their defensive line. I don't know. I'm not sure that this is... Losing this to me would be kind of weird because Oregon hasn't played anyone, right? So we don't even know who they are. We know that Dante Moore is good, but are they as talented as Penn State across the board? I'm not sure. This would be, to me, it'd be Penn State blowing it. I do think it'd come back on Franklin. I know what you're saying in theory, but you come in here Monday, think if they lose, what will we be saying?
Well, but here's the thing. When I read you that stat about James Franklin, 2-15 against top 5 teams, 5-20 against top 10, that stat doesn't change with one win over Oregon. Like that is abysmal. And you get a little bit closer. You get a win here, maybe coming off of a Final Four. So maybe you could say the tide has turned. You're still gonna have to play Ohio State, so we'll see. But you need years to make up for this. One game to me doesn't get James Franklin off the schneid, and a loss doesn't make it any worse than it already is. I think there's a little part of this where actually the pressure could be on Dan Lanning, and here's why. So Oregon beat Penn State last year in the Big Ten title game, right? And then they had the awful loss to Ohio State in the college football playoff. But Dan Lanning, unlike James Franklin, is thought of as one of the elite coaches in college football.
Right.
Like top of the top with like Kirby Smart. And now with so much, Saban out of the game. And like, we're talking about the top of the top. Sometimes Ryan Day doesn't even get in that conversation. Think how insane that is. And Dan Lanning is like thought of to be elite. You go into Penn State to win this game then, right?
Nah.
Against James Franklin, who has a penchant for losing this big game?
Yeah, I think so. But it's the shallowest reason ever. That's a really long trip. Like you gotta fly to, where do you fly to? Maybe you take a jumper to Harrisburg. Like,
I know. I think they fly into State College.
No, I think you fly. Remember the runway. Once the Big Ten got Oregon and Washington and USC and UCLA, I think they had to make a new runway.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that runway is
that could take a 747 from Eugene.
Now it can.
See, I thought it was still Harrisburg, but you might be right, Manny.
I'll
trust you on all things Penn State.
I think that it's a little house money for this Oregon game, and maybe I'm seeing it totally wrong, but it's like a giant trip. Penn State is super, super loaded. They have those running backs. Oregon, they're not a top 5 team. They're ranked a little lower than they were last year. I don't know. I don't feel like the pressure's on there.
So it's a little different because the game's at night as opposed to USC, who's got to travel to go play Illinois, and that game's at noon. Like that, to me, the body clock game of having a West Coast team coming, to the Midwest, but to the Eastern time zone.
They're playing a team that just lost by 53 points.
I'm just saying, that's a body clock game. Even though Oregon has to travel a long distance, the fact that it's 7:30 at night or 8 o'clock at night when it finally kicks off, you have time to adjust.
I still think all the pressure's on Penn State. I really do. I think Oregon, if this game was in Oregon, it might be the opposite. I just think that it being with the whiteout and all the pressure, I think that all the hype for Penn State this year and Drew Aller being back, I think this falls on them. Because Oregon probably, both teams can afford 2 losses and still be in the playoff. Oregon, really, the schedule lightens up. They get Indiana, which should be interesting, in Oregon with their next game, and then they have really only one more ranked game left. They have one of those easy Big Ten schedules. You know how that seems to be happening, where either you get a hard one or an easy one. So Oregon's going to be in the playoffs. And last year, remember what happened with Oregon last year? They looked great, right?
They were number 1 team in the country
all year long. Then they fell apart in the playoffs. So I hate to say this, but like, are regular season games in college football that meaningful anymore?
Well, that's why if you were asking me to rank who has the most at stake in these games, it actually is the quarterbacks, because I know, Pearl, you have your Heisman commandments, the Heismanments and all of that. You don't want to be the front runner in September, and I get it. But, right now, especially with John Mateer hurt from Oklahoma, this is a very wide open Heisman race. We're talking about Fernando Mendoza. It's like this could be a huge spot for Drew Aller or for Dante Moore, not just for the Heisman, but then their pro prospects as well. It's meaningful for the quarterbacks for sure.
Well, especially because it's really their first test in a way, like major test. I'm really very curious about Drew Aller because he's been on the radar for so long. We've been talking about Drew Aller, it seems like forever. And I still think no one knows. He's like, we always joke about the Bermuda Triangle of quarterback evaluation.
Yep.
Try and find a steady evaluation of who Drew Aller is as a future pro. It's impossible. Dante Moore is kind of new on the scene, I think. So I'm really curious. Will they let Aller throw the ball? That's always a question. This game, I think, is going to have major ramifications, mainly for Penn State. And you can call me out on Monday if I'm wrong, if we come in here and say we're worried about Oregon. But Oregon can easily absorb this loss.
Can I ask a question to the group?
Yes.
Now, we do sports for a living, so sometimes our setups can be a little bit big because we have to watch multiple games multiple times. But what's on your main TV at 8 o'clock if you do that kind of thing? Oregon, Penn State, or Alabama, Georgia?
Penn State. But I mean, I may be a little biased. I mean, my mom is a Penn State grad.
Yeah.
And we grew up watching
Sit
Penn
next
State
to Manny,
football.
watching with all your Penn State gear on today.
So it's going to be Penn State. But I think even if I wasn't, I still would say Penn State, Oregon, because I think those teams, there's a better chance those teams are going to be a factor, I think, in the Final Four than definitely Alabama. Georgia is good. I don't know. Something about them is still weird to me.
Yeah,
they're kind of a new team. Like, they're not the old Georgia.
No,
because
they're not.
They probably should have lost that game to Tennessee,
they
but
gave a lot of
somehow
points.
won.
Like, their defense isn't maybe quite as dominant as it used to be.
No way. It's not even close to as dominant.
All those guys are in the NFL.
Well, here's my problem with Alabama, Georgia, and it's probably a stupid one. Alabama looked amazing. Jalen Milroe had the game of his life, and they won a high-scoring game against Georgia. Then they turn around and lose to Vanderbilt the next week. The whole thing falls apart.
Year, right.
So these early season games, for some reason, that is stuck in my mind. Like, I don't know what we're really going to get out of that one. But I don't know. I mean, I think that Alabama does have some talent, though. They still have Ryan Williams, who's amazing. So maybe something exciting there. I'm with EJ. I would go Penn State, Oregon on the main screen. I'm a computer watcher via ESPN app. I'm assuming, is Alabama, Georgia on ESPN?
Yes, ESPN game.
Yeah. So I'll get that one on my computer. And is there a third game? There's a couple other games.
Well, you got LSU Ole Miss, but that's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But here's a question. If you took all four coaches of these two big matchups, so you got James Franklin, Dan Lanning on one side, and then you've got Kirby Smart and you've got Kalen DeBoer on the other. Of all four guys, Kalen DeBoer is the one who's clearly at the most at stake here, right? It's like 30,000-foot view. Right. You know, James Franklin's not getting fired even if they lose this game by 2 scores. Kirby Smart, lifetime contract. This is like Dan Lanning lifetime contract. Kalen DeBoer loses this game, ...
Well,
he's not getting fired right now. I understand that. But, it was a good win against Wisconsin, who's about to fire their coach any second. And
yeah, I mean, Kalen DeBoer, here's the thing about.
You start this. This is a rash of ranked opponents now. It's Georgia. Vandy is ranked, and the boogeyman from last year. Mizzou, which is on the road. Tennessee. Before you get South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, where John Mateer will be back, we think.
The problem with Kalen DeBoer and Alabama looked like they weren't even playing at 100% motor against Florida State. Like, they looked like the opposite of a Nick Saban team. Because Nick Saban teams, they didn't always win, but they always played super, super hard. Kalen DeBoer looks like a fancy offensive guy. Like, so far he hasn't fit. Yeah, he's definitely, I don't know if this loss would kill him because Georgia, what is Georgia number 5? They're awesome. Yeah. I mean, their offense could be really, really good this year. So I'm not sure this loss would bury him, but it's definitely not the right direction.
But you think that if they make the playoffs, he's safe. And I think because the schedule is tough, in some ways it actually helps Alabama because they'll have plenty of opportunities to get good wins. So if you beat LSU at home, if you beat Oklahoma at home, like you beat some of these other good teams, like I think you'll be fine. It's
but that's a
tough
tall
task. I know, but you think Alabama has the talent to do it.
But you know what the spread is on this game? Georgia's a 2.5-point favorite. That's nothing. This college football. We're used to spread 7.5. Feels like minimum.
Yeah, and I think that's why. I mean, I would hammer Georgia at home under the lights between the hedges. I don't know. I think that Alabama's in for a tough game potentially.
I mean, Alabama, by the way, this could all go. They might not even be bowl eligible at the end of this thing because I don't know. There are a lot of they really need to step up from what you saw against Florida State. That team will not win any of these SEC games. All that being said, the season hasn't, again, I keep saying this, the season has not even started. We have no idea who these teams are. This will be the second SEC game for most of these teams. Be very curious. I was ready to give up on Ty Simpson after 1 week. Now he looks good again.
Yeah, same here.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot TBD.
Wow. Give me Alabama.
I love anything where you can just bark at somebody, and that's like a greeting. Makes me wish I went to Georgia. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, see you guys on the phones. Let's get to that. You have any thoughts about last night's game, Thursday Night Football? Seahawks escape with a 23-20 win. And the college football, the two headliners, Penn State, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia. Got a little LSU Ole Miss in the mix as well. USC, Illinois, whatever your team is, you're welcome to weigh in. I did a homework assignment last night, which I would like to share my results from with the class.
Gross.
And also, the latest quarterback to be called out by a former MVP. This one's harsh. Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Snap to Murray, four-man Seattle rush. Murray drops back, now throws it deep left side end zone. Harrison goes up and stabs it for a touchdown. What a catch by Harrison. A huge score for the Cardinals.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. A few years ago, Maggie, I don't know if you remember, I declared that Marvin Harrison Jr. was the greatest wide receiver prospect in college football history.
Yeah, thank you to Cardinals Radio, by the way.
Yeah, so I was wrong. What I meant was Jeremiah Smith. I meant,
you got it mixed up.
I said Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm like, oh, that recruit who's sitting on the sideline, that's the guy. But I thought Marvin Harrison Jr. was as can't miss as they ever came. First of all, he's Marvin Harrison's son. Second of all, he's like way more physically impressive than his dad. He had every ingredient to be a superstar. And last year, it was mixed results. Then last week, he had these drops that made you think, oh, he just doesn't have it. First half of the game, really didn't have it. There was the first interception was caused by him not finishing the route. The second interception, he fumbled the ball into the Seahawks' hands. So Marvin Harrison looked like he was the biggest problem for the Arizona Cardinals. And then what happens? He comes out the second half and just mosses the Seahawks and helps them come back and make it a game. I don't know what to make of him, Maggie.
That first half, it looked like he and Kyler Murray had never met. I mean, they were so far off not even in the same book, in the same genre. It was terrible. And then, yeah, he redeemed himself. And it was funny because he took a knee, and like maybe like a prayer or whatever it was. And it felt like an exhale for him. Yeah. Like, whoa, you could almost just see it right on the field. Now, I don't know. I'm not in the guy's brain or helmet, but that's what it felt like. Like, thank goodness. Maybe the pressure valve can release a little bit off of this dude.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Herbstreit nailed it. Like, he is in his head. It was a confidence problem. So I think he just had to get one really solid catch. Because he's obviously physically talented. There's no reason. You look at him, he should be a star. He could be like CeeDee Lamb. He's big, he's tall, he's physical. Put on a ton of weight this offseason to try to be able to be better after the catch. So we'll see. But that was one good sign. At least he came back. Because I don't think the team's going to have Kyler Murray next year. Or maybe he's on the squad. But Marvin Harrison's a guy you want to build around. Other than that, I don't know what you have on offense.
I'm trying to think.
Well, you have Trey McBride, obviously.
Yeah, Trey McBride, because James Conner got hurt. But as far as the running back, have there been 1,000-yard receivers with Kyler Murray? Like, is he the guy to serve it up on a platter?
Did Hopkins get 1,000 one year?
Did Hollywood Brown stay healthy enough to get 1,000? Probably not.
Let's go to Ramon in Indianapolis, wants to talk about Maserati Marv. What's up, Ramon? Razor Ramon.
Good morning. Yes, Perloff kind of stole the steam there, Perloff. But
sorry, bud.
I'm having doubts about that guy. I mean, he's not getting the separation that I see. I mean, you can make a quarterback look good as a receiver. We saw the guy that jumped up, and I can't remember his name, but that jumped in the air and caught the touchdown for Eli Manning in the Super Bowl that time and saved him. So I don't know what's going on with the guy. That drop was terrible, especially on that drive. They needed that drive. They needed that, and he dropped it there. I just want to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
Why does Arizona continue to get away with being who they are? And is Kyler Murray Tua? Is Kyler Murray another Tua who Lamar had to fight to get a contract, but yet Tua and Kyler Murray got served theirs on a platter? And what are we really expecting from them? I mean, is he gone after, what has he got, 2 years left on the deal, maybe a year left too? Is he gone? Because Arizona is just Arizona. That division is to be had. They don't play with any urgency. Who's the coach there? I watched that. I was like, what is this going on here? Then there was defensive calls. You're going to lead a cornerback on his island by himself when you know they don't need that many yards. You should have had some other help over there to that corner. He didn't know what he was doing. I just don't know what they're doing there. They remind me of the Bad News Bears. It's just that they continue to look a little better because of that division, maybe. I don't know.
Wait. It's the ultimate tease. You nailed it on this one. Have yourself a fantastic weekend.
No, was Ramon referring to the Chicago Bears or the actual Bad News Bears baseball team? I think he was talking about the Chicago Bears. The problem with the Cardinals is I'm sorry, they play tough. They are not going to be very good at tanking. That defense is going to make enough plays to win 7 games, and they won't really get the top quarterback. So do you get a quarterback at like 13, 14? That's part of the reason I mean, I'm not sure who their answer is, but I think it's obvious that they're moving on from Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm done with this roller coaster ride of Kyler Murray.
It's not a roller coaster. It's been flat. It's same thing every game, every year.
Well, but not really, because last night, they can't get out of their own way. The home crowd's booing them. They're terrible. Marvin Harrison can't catch the ball. And then somehow within the last 5 minutes of the game, all of a sudden, here we are, we're tied.
Yeah, that's his MO.
Because that's not flat. That's
what everybody's game after game. It's like, and even if that game was like 17-3, you're like, oh, well, they're going to get that Kyler Murray scramble to make this a close game.
Well,
they're
not
in a
if the
lot
Seahawks
of close
had just
games.
gone for it on 4th and 2 when they had a chance to be aggressive, but instead settled for a field goal. They end up missing to
Totally
keep it
disagree.
a one-score game.
Totally disagree, because I did not like what I saw of the Seahawks short yardage offense. Think of them at the goal. For some reason, they take out Kenneth Walker and put in Zach Charbonnet in short yardage, and he gets stuffed again and again and again. I don't love them in short yardage. It's kind of weird.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Proud of Perloff owning up to that. You do own up to, you loved Marvin Harrison. I hope.
Oh, I have no problem with that take. Like, why wouldn't he be amazing? Like, what am I missing?
I think because Arizona. Like, I was looking back at their 11-6 season where they made the wild card, remember, and then couldn't get over the 50-yard line in that playoff game. But they had 2 receivers who had almost 1,000 yards. Christian Kirk was one of them. And do you remember A.J. Green? In his year 33 season, age 33 season, he had 848 yards, only 3 touchdowns. But
how can you put any of this on Kyler Murray? The ball 2 weeks ago hit him right between the numbers in the end zone, and that was one of 2 massive drops.
Yeah, I know.
These are not pro-level drops, but I think he hopefully turned the corner last night because he sure looks like a super. And by the way, they have other guys like Trey McBride's awesome.
Yep.
I think top 3 tight end in the league.
But at some points, he's the whole offense.
Yeah, then you'll get that random Greg Dortch play. Greg Dortch is a guy I never really been able to wrap my head around, but he makes some plays. They're just mediocre, this team. Arizona, it's a shame. So you're ready to move on from Kyler. You're officially.
I'm out.
Who's in?
Well, the team that's paying him $50 million a year.
I don't think they're in.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got everything else. What a weekend we're setting up for.
All the headlines are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Get a quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Got to spread those out. The Ryder Cup at Bethpage is officially underway. The first foursome went off about 20 minutes ago. The first American group is Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau. Now, the guys leading this chant are dressed in white caddy jumpers with Revolutionary era hats on.
Oh, my God.
And the nameplates on their backs say Founding Fathers, like John Adams and James Madison. These guys are awesome. That's a good costume.
What about Alexander Hamilton?
And everyone's wondering how drunk this crowd's going to be. The people are showing up in costumes.
Oh, that's the least of it. I just saw a dude in red, white, and blue denim overalls and body paint.
And they dress themselves presumably while still sober.
I mean, the outfit, these guys, the Revolutionary Guard, they have, this is a weeks of planning.
Well, I mean, yeah, man, it's the Ryder
Probably
Cup at
months.
Bethpage Black.
Yeah, people are really looking forward to this.
Isn't it, what do they call biannuals? Every 2 years, they could have been planning this for a year.
I'm very curious about Bryson DeChambeau because you know how he loves all this hype and attention. He's probably secretly trying to sell his hats and stuff. Like, he's so into this. I can't even see him, but I can see him just loving it, eating it up.
He was good on the first hole. He crushed his drive and then sank a birdie putt to win the hole. So the Americans are one up in that match. The second foursome
Bryson DeChambeau
just went off. As Manny knows, special teams giveth and taketh away. Seahawks kicker Jason Myers missing a 53-yard field goal late in the fourth quarter that would have given his team a 2-possession lead in Arizona on Thursday Night Football. The Cardinals took advantage, tying the game instead on a Kyler Murray touchdown pass with 28 seconds left. But then Arizona kicker Chad Ryland missed the landing zone on the ensuing kickoff, giving the Seahawks the ball at the 40. A few plays later, Myers drilled a 52-yard buzzer beater. Sam Darnold on his kicker and golf partner.
That's his mentality in golf too. Like, he'll hit a bad shot and, he'll come back and stripe at the next one. And so, he's got that mentality. He gets, pretty frustrated when he doesn't make them. But then he comes back and, it's almost automatic.
Darnold,
My dog.
threw for 242 and a score in this 23-20 final. Only 200 yards from Kyler Murray. He was sacked 6 times, picked off twice, although one of them, as I think you guys were discussing, was really Marvin Harrison Jr.'s fault.
Both of them were 100% Marvin Harrison. The first one, he bobbled right into his hands.
Yeah, that's
the
the
other. He just stopped running. Yeah.
He ran the wrong way. Yeah, either
No,
stopped running.
he
it was
stopped.
Kind of
The DB gave him a little bump, and he's like, well, I guess I'm not going to get where I want to go. I don't think it's Maggie said people have been talking about they don't communicate the quarterback and wide receiver.
Well, that was the easiest interception that Seahawks defender's ever going to have. The problem is Kobe White. He just coughed it up because he got hit by his own teammate. We're talking about the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, by the way, when they had to stop celebrating guys. You got to go back and play defense. Because the Seahawks got up and went to the end zone to do their little dance, and they weren't done yet.
Make a little love.
To be fair, the Arizona Cardinals actually got a field goal out of that drive. but anywho.
80% of interceptions, all the blame goes to the quarterback. 80% of the time, the wide receiver did something wrong. Like you're supposed to go flat and you route out there's so many times. That was very specifically, he would have been right there if he had just kept on running for that pass. So the guy fair caught the interception.
So I thought so too, but Herb Street said, I still don't know if Marvin would have gotten there if he kept the route going. So, I mean,
you're right.
But
also,
the other
Harrison
one was
dogged it on not trying to chase down the defensive back. But
yeah, absolutely.
Breaking news from baseball, guys. The Tigers won again last night.
Strike one pitch. He's swinging a fly ball left field. This one's deep. This one's got a chance, and that ball gone. Wenzel Perez, number 13. Tigers, 2 home runs. First 3 batters. 2-0 lead in the first.
Wenzel Perez.
Well, that answers the question from yesterday.
The epic collapse paused for the moment. Dan Dickerson, Tigers Radio. 2 first-inning homers, leading to a 4-2 win in Cleveland. It snaps their 8-game skid. And once again, these two are tied atop the AL Central. Manager A.J. Hinch, thankful for that quick start.
Obviously, that settles everybody into the game, and we have the lead. Now, there's a lot to do and a lot of work to do, but it was nice to be able to play from ahead and dictate the game a little bit.
Don't forget, the Guardians hold a tiebreaker between these two. They finished their season by hosting the Rangers. The Tigers finish at Fenway.
Bogusch, you might even call last night a slump buster.
Oh, a mini one.
An in-season slump, year of the slump buster back, Maggie?
Okay, so I'm actually glad you guys brought this up.
Look at her now. But you're beaming right now. This still doesn't count, by the way.
Year of the slump buster back on. If somehow the Detroit Tigers win the World Series, that absolutely counts.
All right.
No.
Wait, because of their slump in season or because they haven't won one since 84?
That one, because they haven't won since 84.
Right.
And it's a double slump buster because they went into free fall in the last 2 months of the season.
Yeah,
and this is
the old
unbelievable. It's the old double slump.
Can you have a double slump buster?
Yes. It's the
I got a lot of dirty jokes.
Pretty hammered for that.
Got to be real tired.
You might not be
Bumping
proud
two
of it, but you'll get there. It's the forest and the trees. It's double. It's the big and the little.
What?
Everybody's in. It's
Evidently.
Mark that down.
Anyway, you're the slump buster back on. But I have a more global question for the crowd on this one.
I
Because
don't think you have them.
and it harkens back to the origin of the year of the slump buster 2025.
All right, you're not helping yourself yet. Let's hear. Can we get this out of the gutter?
Rory McIlroy was the big feather in my cap of 2025 being the year of the drought buster. Drought buster.
Right.
Oklahoma City Thunder definitely counts. But okay.
Not even the NBA could decide if that counts because whether it connects to Seattle or not.
Listen, this is in our world, I'm going to say it counts. But so Rory was the really big thing here. And when Rory was about to lose the Masters, right? We had a very candid conversation. Were you rooting for the collapse or were you rooting for Rory to get off the schneid? And a lot of people said they were rooting for him to collapse. Remember we had this very candid conversation? Like, what were you actually rooting for?
No, I don't remember.
All right.
Wait, why were people rooting against? I thought people like Rory.
But watching the collapse and watching the
drama.
The drama, thank you, or just like the human condition of watching somebody struggle like that. Professional athlete, not a regular person. This is someone whose life is going to be great, millionaire 1,000,000 times over. Family's not going to be hurt at all, whether he wins this golf tournament or loses his golf tournament. Stakes were different for him than a regular person. But
can we get back to the dirty jokes? What's going on?
Same thing with the Tigers. Are you rooting for the Tigers to actually turn things around and become this great story, or are you rooting for them to just are you rooting for the collapse?
Oh, for me, I want the Tigers to come back and roar all the way through, no pun intended, the entire World Series.
So you want the double slump buster?
Yeah, I'm big into the
typical guy.
I feel bad for yeah, I do. I feel so bad for the Tigers. I think to come back now would be the best story. It'd be like kind of get in the face of everyone who counted them out. It'd be so cool, like a Rocky story.
Oh, I remain completely indifferent to this. Like I said yesterday, there's no reason to root against them. There are no enemies. There are no villains on that team. I know EJ has sympathy for them because they were a great story.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because all of my emotion is in the Mets not collapsing that I've got nothing left for anybody.
They're collapsing too, by the way.
Yeah, but go outside your fandom.
I really couldn't care what happens to the Tigers.
I want the Tigers to be out because that means the Guardians get in, and the Yankees have had success with the Guardians in recent history in the playoffs.
Take your fandom out. Just philosophically, do you want to watch the collapse or do you want the double slump buster?
I think it depends on the team. And this team, I don't want to see this. If this was the Yankees, if this was the Phillies, if this was the Dodgers, if someone else was rooting for the Mets,
one of the big high payroll teams, right?
Yeah,
you would love to see them collapse.
You want to see the team that expects to be great fall apart. This team in this franchise just does not expect to be great. That is not the expectation of the Detroit Tigers for basically most of the history of their organization.
Well, they went in pretty heavy a couple years ago to try to get a World Series before when Mike Ilitch was super old, right?
Right. But they're but again, that's like them being the lovable loser Cubs almost. It's like, can this team finally get over the hump? And they're trying, and let's hope that they get it done this time. It's not, let's hope those, high paid, snobs fall apart and, fart over their face. That's not what we're looking for.
I have one driving force in this whole thing. I really do not want it to actually be the year of the slump buster because I feel like you've been pigeonholing these non-slump busters into slump busters, and it's driving us all crazy.
Well, okay, the Ohio State one was maybe a little bit of a stretch, but
Florida men's basketball.
Florida basketball. That's where you lost America.
In 2 weeks, she's gonna be able to find a way and bring the Dodgers into the slump buster.
Well, I'm actually looking at the playoff standings right now, and who do I have to root against so Maggie can't say the Yankees 09? Is that a slump?
09 is the last time we won the World
Series.
Series.
Is that a slump?
Yeah, you're damn right.
If you listen to the Yankees, it was like 1909.
Got that
right.
But
that's
1909, 2009, same thing.
Well, the Red Sox, that can't be. That was 18, right? I mean,
yes.
So we got a bunch of teams that haven't won yet. So that's
the Padres.
Yeah.
Seattle, this would be an all-timer.
They never won though.
I know but that counts just like Oklahoma City counts. This is what we decided.
Yeah, no. This is what you decided. That's exactly why people are rooting against you, but you keep changing the rules.
Can I give you a little Indiana fever?
No, I thought we Tylenol that the other day.
Yeah, the way you phrase that, I'm like, no, I don't want to catch a fever.
Yeah. Can I interest you in some fever? Yellow? Like, no, I'm good.
Tough it out, Manny. 888-710-4ISN. So they want women to do.
I think yesterday, the year of the collapse.
It's all about the women.
It's going to be the year of the collapse. That would be cool.
I mean, in baseball, it could be.
Are there any other collapses?
The Mets. The Tigers. I mean,
no, in other sports. Any soccer collapses you got on us?
With the season just started, Poppy.
Yeah. Any international collapses?
La Liga. No. All right. We got to take a quick break.
Good job,
Will
Maggie.
this be the year of the slump buster or the year of the collapse? Coming up, one former NFL MVP is getting very, very critical of another starting QB. It's pretty harsh. We'll get to that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Everyone feeling patriotic today because the Ryder Cup. They have teed off. I think USA is still 1-up, last I saw. Andrew Bogusch will be in a little bit to give us all the latest there. Everyone's decked out in the red, white, and blue around here. All right, let's get to some quarterback-on-quarterback crime, shall we? So here is former MVP Cam Newton, Pearl, making an appearance on First Take, calling out Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa is making more than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Am I pocket watching? No. I'm putting things into perspective here. Mm-hmm. What Biggie say? More money, more problems. Well, in this case, it should be more money, more expectations.
Bars. More from Cam Newton.
When I see Tua Tagovailoa over this year alone, I've heard him more than I ever have. That's not to say you can't talk. Right. I like quiet Tua, Alabama Tua, chip on the shoulder Tua. Not is somebody going to come in and watch film. hey, let's see what this is. Hey, I was this since I was that. Taking certain things. Man, bro.
You know, I know Cam is not popular, right? Because he really shoots from the hip, Pearl. But on this one, like, Tua is getting pretty outspoken and does not have the play to back it up. I think he's a good dude. It's not that. It's just he called out Brian Flores 2 years ago, and then they didn't have ended up getting hurt. You know, he and Tyreek Hill not on the same page. Tua's quarterback rating right now is 87.
Yeah.
It is not befitting of somebody who's getting paid that much.
No, they're 0-3. I mean, what? There's no defense for Tua. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. This is an easy target for someone like Cam Newton.
Oh, is he punching down?
Well, I mean, there's right now the Dolphins, I think, are the lowest team in the NFL. Now, the Saints are the worst team, but we knew the Saints were going to stink. And I think a lot of people thought the Dolphins might stink, but the Dolphins are paying their quarterback a ton, and they have stars, and they've invested all this money in their defense, which is still just awful. Like, this has really become like kind of a pathetic situation to me.
Luckily, we get them Monday night against the Jets. Now, here's Tua. He was made aware of these comments by Cam Newton, and this was the clapback.
Well, anybody can play quarterback in this league then. I mean, I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but, you know, I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way, or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback.
Tua knows that Cam played in the league,
think so.
right?
I don't think he does.
I was like, I want to, be careful here because I know Tua's had some
easy
big hits.
Wow,
he definitely knows that Cam Newton was the MVP of the league, right?
Yeah, but guess how old Cam is right now?
35 or something.
36.
Yeah.
Like,
he's young.
Cam's on the he's not. Tua's not right. Like, if you're so good, why aren't you playing right now?
Yeah, but Cam has done it. Like, he understands he's not a guy with a clipboard. That's like what someone would say about people like you and me, not about Cam Newton. This is like what Ryan Clark said about Peter Schrager. No, you can say a lot of things about Cam. You can defend yourself. You've never played quarterback. You don't know what it's like. That's literally the one thing you cannot say to Cam Newton.
When Cam Newton was Tua's age, he was winning MVPs.
Yeah, but I think you too could argue, hey, you were 32 and you flamed out even worse than I'm flaming out. So that's what I think.
Is that even true? Cam played in the Super Bowl.
Terrible his last couple years.
But he played in the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah,
Tua's
well
not
aware
even
of
close.
Cam won an MVP. Yeah, but I mean, he's saying, like, if you're so good, like, why aren't you playing? I mean, that's a good. I don't even understand. By the way, but he wasn't even that hurt. I've never understood why Cam's career ended so fast.
Elbow surgery.
He said he's too lit to be a backup. No,
yeah, I mean, I honestly, like, you don't find the fact that Cam flamed out so early mysterious. But anyway, I think to his point was like, well, you know what, you're of age. You come out here and do it with this team. I understand. I don't think Tua was like so crazy out of line with that statement at all.
It made no sense. It doesn't fit. Like, you're going to judge a guy by the very end of your career. You don't do that. You're very nice about that. You said, Russell Wilson, we're going to forget about all this stuff, and no one's going to judge him by the end of the career. Why would we judge Cam Newton by the end? The peak was as high as you could possibly get.
But he was saying, you know, when Tua got into the league, I think Cam was batting around New England. He probably watched him and said, oh, well, that guy's not very good right now. Like,
whose fault is that? I mean,
Cam's.
No, it's Tua's for not having. If that's really true, that's having no understanding of the league that you just entered.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, the guy was just shredding him apart on TV. Like, was Tua supposed to be like, oh yeah, Cam's right, I am a total bust, and it was a waste of $50 million? Is that what you would expect him to say?
No, you can defend yourself. Just don't do the, hey, you've never walked a mile in my shoes. Like, he literally has. They play the same position. Anyway, I thought it was a little crazy from Tua's side of things. Again, we get them on Monday night. Coming up, the NFL.
You're in a 5-minute break.
I'm Custer in Nevada. I'm Custer in Nevada. With the pit plays that daily dose of take so bold they might just roast. From sports hot drama to a GOAT debate, we're tuning in, it's never second rate. And who's in the chat? We see you shine, dropping takes that toe the line. For For swinging that sword, dropping truth bombs we can't ignore. Chocolate thunder, 3 throws, got the vibe, drop the fire so smooth it's a whole new tribe. LTW brings the stats real clean, breaking it down like a football machine. California native got that West Coast flair, Sunny takes with that laid-back stare. Jay and Nashville holds it down each day, Southern charm with a bold wordplay. Wake up, hit plays, that daily dose, takes so bold they might just roast. From sports hot drama to a GOAT debate, we're tuning in, it's never second rate. And who's in the chat? We see you shot, we see you. Who's in the chat? We second rate. And who's in the chat? We see you shot, dropping, takes that, stomping, takes that, toe the line. And who's in the chat? We see you shine, dropping, takes that, toe the line. For swinging that sword, dropping truth bombs we can't ignore. Chocolate thunder, 3 throws, got the vibe, dropping fire so smooth it's a whole new tribe. LTW brings the stats real clean, breaking it down like a... Well, man, he strolls in with a grin on his face, Yankee pinstripes all over the place. But his chest is out like he's on the beach. Moist pork yells, button up, you creep. Oh, Manny, button your jersey. You ain't A-Rock, stop trying to be flirty. It's not a runway, it's the Bronx, my guy. Even Derek had his top button tied. Now moist pork sweating, pacing the floor.
Done.
So fast.
That's what I do.
You're even fast at playing chess?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you got.
Checkmate.
I don't think it works that way.
Yes, it does.
Fastest man in the world playing chess.
That's what I do.
You're saying you're so fast, you think even the grass will grow faster just because you're watching it?
Yes. You don't think so? You're not seeing this?
I don't know, man.
I think it's just because you're so.
Well, the game was tight, the crowd was loud. The judge went down, ain't no cheers now. Flicks are strained, they said real low, like a punch straight through my radio. Manny Rodriguez sitting third row, with his judge jersey and his heart broke slow. He stood up once, then he sat back down, poured that pain till he couldn't hear the sound. Now he's blackout drunk in a parking lot bar, talking to ghosts and cussing at the stars. Why'd you take my hero? What did he do? Whiskey on his lips, Yankee tears in his boots. Bartender said, son, it's just a game. But to Manny, it's blood running through his veins. So pour one more shot to leave on the line for the kid who lost hope when we lost 99.
By like on a third. Green Bay making the bold move to land Parsons.
Appreciate it. That was awesome, man.
I'm freaking out. I'm so scared right now.
That's all right.
Can I just step up?
Yep. How was it? On the side, put your foot in as you're going. There he is. All the way up. Plug you down, man.
Seatbelts, okay?
Yep. What?
Don't forget any of the seatbelts.
Oh, I don't think we wouldn't do that. Thank you, Mario.
30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Major college games this weekend that we are pumped about. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We get competing primetime games, Pearl. So around 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time, that's when you get Oregon, Penn State in Happy Valley with a whiteout. You also get Alabama traveling to Georgia. What do you think is going to be the better game?
Well, I think you got to go the higher ranked game, Penn State, Oregon. The thing about this game is, like, you can't pretend like this is a classic Big Ten rivalry. I'm still having trouble adjusting to the Pac-12 teams coming to Big Ten. This is a long trip. I feel like the narrative that Penn State can't win big games is neutralized by the fact that it's a whiteout, it's a home game. You have all this talent at Penn State. Even if they win this game, that doesn't say to me, oh, this is going to be an easy, national title for Penn State. Like, I hate to say it, like, just because you can win this game doesn't mean you can win the big game in the Final Four. So I'm already discounting a James Franklin win.
Wow, there's nothing this guy can do.
I think he's got this now. I think the expectation for Penn State it's national title or bust, because you have Drew Aller came back, you have those running backs, you have incredible defensive future NFL players. Like, I think that's how high the bar should be for Penn State, kind of like we used to talk about Georgia and Alabama.
Okay, but so far, and I'm sure I would not fault anybody if you haven't really been dialed in to Penn State's non-conference. They played Nevada, Florida International, and then Villanova.
FCS powerhouse.
For all the marbles. And, to be honest, like, they look fine. You could beat Villanova 52-6. That's all well and good. But
terrible beat there by that touchdown by Villanova at the end.
And you guys think I'm a degenerate. But I think that this is a major step up here in weight class, clearly. And this was an Oregon team that got the better of Penn State last year in the Big Ten title game. And I think, weirdly, people were kind of sleeping a little on Oregon because the new quarterback and Dante Moore and maybe the way that Oregon lost in the college football playoff to Ohio State and how bad that was. To me, as far as James Franklin versus Dan Lanning, there's nothing James Franklin can really do to amend his reputation in one game. If you're talking about a 2-15 record against top 5 teams and a 5-20 record against top 10 teams, that doesn't get erased or washed away with one win. He's got a lot of work to do because they made the Final Four last year, and he still is thought of as a big game choker. So to me, one more game, they're still going to make the college football playoff unless something really goes wrong. I'm not worried about Penn State. For Dan Lanning, this is an opportunity to prove elite of the elite head coaches in college football to go on the road, you're right, all the way across the country into, and I say this respectfully, Happy Valley, the middle of nowhere. I've been there many times, and it's beautiful, but there's not much around, and go in and get a win.
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of a counter argument. Last year, Oregon beat Ohio State, the game where Will Howard screwed up at the end. And what did it really mean in the long run? Nothing. Because of the 12-team playoff, you kind of think both Penn State and I feel like all week I've been a little bit down compared to you guys on this game. Because come on, we know both these teams are getting into the playoff with two losses. And what does this really mean? Because even if Penn State can beat Oregon at home in a whiteout, that doesn't mean they're going to beat them on a neutral field later in the season. And it is very hard to beat the same team twice. Almost losing gives you an advantage in the second matchup. So that's the reality of college football today. I think 10 years ago or even 20 years ago, it all would be on the line here in this game. But come on, we know that's not the case.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. And as I said, twin primetime games in college football because the other is Alabama going to Georgia. And if we're talking about coaches, well, no one has more at stake than Kalen DeBoer because all the rest of the three guys, even James Franklin, who's not known as a big game coach, he has a lifetime contract at Penn State. They're not moving on from him.
I don't know about that. A lifetime contract.
Well, as close as you can get.
I mean, they have a lot of pressure to win this year because they're stacked. But Drew Aller's back.
But again, like you always ask me this, like who are they getting? Like
Penn State? I don't think James Franklin has a lifetime. Kind of like when you yelled at me that Mike Tomlin doesn't have a lifetime contract.
Well, the NFL is way different.
I think James Franklin, to his credit, is progressing towards getting to a national title. Like they got farther last year. I don't think that's the situation. He's an amazing recruiter. I don't know, EJ, you're the Penn State fan, and Manny too. Like, do you feel like James Franklin's a lifetime contract guy?
I think more so, and he's in the category with Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart. These guys.
Oh, I don't at all.
They're leaving when they want to leave. I think Kalen DeBoer, on the other hand,
Yeah, well, that's
much tougher assignment for this guy. Now, he signed up for it, but much tougher assignment to take over for Nick Saban. First year didn't go great, and now you already have one loss to Florida State to open the season. Now you got to go to Georgia, and that just kicks off a stretch where you're facing 5 ranked teams in a row.
Yeah, I don't know, Pearl. I think he does have a lifetime contract because, I mean, if he hadn't, don't you think he would have been axed by now?
No, but I mean, they've really, I don't know, like they kind of like the trajectory is not terrible though. Like
no,
well, who is? I feel like the team's getting better and better and better and better.
I feel like he's one of those guys where the first 7-win season he's gone. Like that's what it's going to take. Now it almost seems like, to Perloff's point though, that it almost they've almost kind of, they're going to stumble into 10 wins every year, right? They're so good. Like they have a lot of talent. They recruit really well. The NIL money's there. So it would take Penn State to be like, I know we won 11 games, but we're still firing our coach. And from what we've seen, even though that's what the fans would want, as someone who is adjacent to this fan base, I don't seem to think that the administration wants that. They've resisted all decisions and all lengths to trying to fire James Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on the hot seat. Yeah, I mean, listen, they're on a high. They made the Final Four last year. We'll see. If they lose this game, let's talk about it Monday. I really think that, I think maybe, and I think you and I disagree on this, Maggie. I think you're being a little too optimistic about how much we're going to rip James Franklin on Monday if they lose this game. I feel like he'll be under the spotlight.
18th whiteout, official whiteout for Penn State. The record 11-16. However, 5-0 since 2019 in those whiteouts. All right, let's get to some NFL. Every game in less than 60 seconds. All right, EJ, what do we got first?
All right, so let's get to these games here. Let's begin with the New York. Let's go actually the Dublin game.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Breakfast.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, by the way, what, and this has been much discussed, what is Aaron Rodgers going to do when Brian Flores surprises him with a blitz? Like, is he just going to be a massive sitting duck right there? I'm a little worried about the old guy. As an old guy myself, I'm worried about a fellow old guy.
He's been on the ground a lot.
I'm going to be yelling at 8 in the morning, throw the ball, get out of there, Aaron.
If Carson Wentz plays really well in this game, which he should, because I think you can move the ball on the Pittsburgh defense, I think we're wondering whether McCarthy gets back his job. Who's next?
All right, let's go to Atlanta. Still up in the air in terms of Jaden Daniels' status, but Michael Penix will be playing. Can't tell you if that's a good thing or bad thing for the Falcons as they host the Commanders in Atlanta.
I'm really surprised that the Commanders are still favored in this game because, to me, as a guy at fantasy owner, like Terry McLaurin, it's such a big part of what they did last year, and it's just not working this year. He's hurt. Mariota. I think Atlanta, like this, they should be favored in this game. Am I misreading this?
This is how bad things are for Atlanta.
Okay.
You've got all the offensive skill talent in the world. You probably maybe have a backup quarterback, your former backup quarterback coming into town, and you're still an underdog at home. Rough.
This might be one of the biggest spreads this season. You got the Bills hosting the Saints, 15.5-point favorites for Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think why the spread is so big, and anything can happen, but this is why the spread's so big, is the Bills never take Josh Allen out of the game. So, or way too late. So they could be up by 3 scores. He's still going to be in and throwing because that's what they do. I would like to think the Bills build a comfortable lead here and put Mitchell Trubisky in and just sort of live to see another day.
Maggie, you're nervous about every Bills game. Is this one, can you paint the nightmare scenario in your head or no?
Oh, do you guys want to really go to the dark place?
Yes.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not even putting it out there, but it has something to do with Cam Jordan sacking Josh Allen in a
funky way.
In a weird way. Yeah.
I mean, you could go to the grocery store and get run over by a cart. Like, I'm just saying, a cart, not a car.
No, I heard the cart. I heard the cart.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if there's any game where Josh Allen is safe, it's this one.
Oh, I hate you when you do stuff like that.
I mean, come on, they're playing the Saints. It's a 100-point spread.
Next. All right, Cleveland travels to Detroit to take on the Lions. This one also a pretty big spread, 9.5.
Okay, this is another thing that Maggie and I disagree on a little bit. I think one of the most impressive units in the NFL so far this year is the Cleveland Browns defense. And, man, are they going to be put to the test because that Lions are going to be no good without Ben Johnson thing is obviously dissolved over the last couple of weeks. But you know who I love? A Cleveland rookie, Carson Schlesinger, linebacker. He's coming in. He's immediately looks like a veteran. I think it'll be interesting to watch Cleveland try and stop that Lions run game. I mean, obviously, I like the Lions, but I think It'd be interesting. This is a test. If Cleveland keeps this close, that means Cleveland's defense is really great.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think Cleveland's going to be going anywhere with that good defense. And actually, it would be a waste of a really great defense.
Yeah.
But this is Detroit figured stuff out. Like, it's off. It's like, I think it's game over now, even for the NFC North. Like, I was very impressed with what they did to Baltimore on the road last week.
You have them over the Packers.
I am, yeah. I do.
Panthers look to make it 2 in a row. They travel to Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
The Patriots got to win this game.
Yeah, you look up get right game in the dictionary.
But
Panthers on the road.
I don't know if this is like possible for the Patriots. Like, this is what I'm waiting for. Are they actually like, is there a good team in there somewhere? They're just like disguised by all the mistakes and turnovers that they've been making? Or is the team like really that far away?
Well, they're 4 games into a new coach. You got to give them some time.
Yeah, but Vrabel was supposed to come in and be immediately the difference maker, and that could be Gerard Mayo out there. We wouldn't know. It's the way they're playing. It feels like exactly the same.
Well, I think that was a mistake. We should have said, like, listen, they got to learn how to play for Mike Vrabel. I think the new coaches should get a little time.
Action Jackson makes his debut in New York as the Giants host the undefeated LA Chargers.
Yeah, I actually, really interesting to me. Jackson Darnold will get a lot of attention. The Giants' defense is sneaky good, by the way. They really gave Kansas City a hard time. And I don't know how good the Chargers' offense is. I feel like this could be an uglier game than people think. I think the Giants' defense could step up and make it closer than I think some people expect. I mean, rookie quarterbacks in their first game as underdogs is not good.
I want to believe this could be like maybe, what are they calling them? New Jack City now, and maybe you get a little bump here with Dart. I think he's going to be over-aggressive, and it's going to be a new day for the Chargers and their defense, and I think it's going to be easy picking. Sorry, Manny. I don't know if they're going to cover, but I think it's going to be a 2-interception game, at least for Jackson Dart. Sorry.
Battle of undefeateds in Tampa Bay as the world champion Philadelphia Eagles travel to face the Bucs.
The Eagles make no sense. So they have a little trouble with Todd Bowles. This is a tough spot coming off a dramatic win going down to Tampa Bay. But I've kind of been picking against them. They are how would you call it, a find a way to win. You don't know if they're going to pass the ball. You don't know if they're going to run the ball. You don't know if it's going to be blocked field goals or defense. I mean, the Eagles seem like they have a bunch of ways to counter the Bucs.
Yeah, I think the Bucs a little fool's gold. I love watching them, and I think they're great. But these last-second drives, I know the Eagles obviously will win on a last-second blocked field goal return for a touchdown last week, so everyone's living on the edge. But the Bucs they've been playing with fire, and this is not a team to do that against.
No Mike Evans, but Chris Godwin back.
Right, they got Ibuka.
As an Eagles fan, I do not want to see Baker with 1 minute left. I'll tell you that. Kill that man before he gets into that situation. Not kill. Again, I'm not trying to kill quarterback speed.
Good heavens,
I'm just saying
man.
I do not want to see Baker Mayfield with the ball in his hand at the end.
You said Josh Allen, you want him to get hit by a grocery cart.
Yeah. But you're like, well, I think it's more dangerous for him to go shopping than to play the New Orleans Saints on Sunday.
I have a healthy fear of Cam Jordan.
They have a combined 6 losses, and the Texans definitely need this one. They host the Titans in Houston.
Okay, so I told you guys in our Coming Clean segment that I've bet on the Texans 3 weeks in a row and got burned 3 weeks in a row. And not just the pregame bets, the live betting, the money lines. It's been a bloodbath. And you would think this is a perfect time. Bet on the Texans, right? They can't lose to the Titans. This Texans team can lose to anybody. Not impressed by what they're doing on offense at all.
So you think they're 7.5-point favorites? You think they can?
I think the Titans are live here.
The one thing about EJ, this is directed to you. I love Cam Ward, fellow fan.
Yeah.
He could escape any pocket in college and run around and make a play. He is quickly learning that it's totally different. He keeps on trying to escape out of the back of the pocket like he did in college, and it keeps on running into trouble. Texans pass rush is going to be a problem here.
All right, let's go to the 4 o'clock window. We got the Colts undefeated traveling to L.A. to take on the Rams as the Rams try to bounce back from that heartbreaker in Philly.
Are we going to call this the Daniel Jones pumpkin bursting game?
Yep.
I think everyone's waiting for Daniel Jones to fail here. I decided I'm rooting for Daniel Jones to quiet the critics, even the critics who say this is all fool's gold. This is his test because, man, I got to tell you right now, the Rams are going to be hangry after losing the way they did last week. This is a really good defensive front.
I'm not wearing the face paint today. because I paid off that bet to Big Friendly. But whose house? Rams' house. I think this is, like Perloff said, this is where the Cinderella story comes to an end and where Jones turns back into a pumpkin, because you're getting a Rams team that has to be so infuriated with how they lost that game to Philadelphia.
That being said, I don't feel like the Rams are a blow-you-out kind of team. I feel like for some reason, once they even get a lead, McVay's turned conservative in his old age. I would be surprised if the Colts hung around. It's a 3.5-point spread.
All right, let's go to San Francisco, where the Jaguars, coming off a big win, take on the 49ers.
So disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed that we're not going to get to see Mac Jones.
The Purdy's back?
Well, also, I don't even know if Mac's really able to play. He is technically available, but he's hurt too. I feel like the system quarterback argument in San Francisco is going to be a wonderful 17-week discussion. Can Kyle Shanahan cobble together this injured team and keep on winning games? You're just disappointed because you had them in the Super Bowl. That does seem unlikely, but it is going to be kind of crazy to watch them put this together as the number one most injured team in the NFL.
Yeah, so Brock Purdy trending towards playing against the Jags.
Yeah.
That's the last that we got.
And I believe the third stringer might be on the spot too. Is it A.J. Martinez? It's one of the, A.J. Martinez, I think the former Nebraska quarterback, will possibly have to be in there too. So that's not good. Then again, the Niners, if they ride McCaffrey, can beat anybody.
A battle of AFC heavyweights that are both 1-2. The Ravens travel to KC to take on the Chiefs.
I think this is, on paper, you would think a bigger game for the Ravens, right? Because you already lost to Buffalo, you lost to Detroit last week at home, and now you're going to play the Chiefs. But if you look a little bit more closely at the Ravens, even if they lose this game, then Houston, Rams, okay, that's going to be a little tough. Chicago, Miami, Minnesota, there are winnable games here, I think. Not all will be lost if the Ravens lose this game. Psychologically, Pearl, that could be a huge letdown to lose to 3 of the elite teams in the NFL. But I think they can still find a way to make sense of the season, and the AFC North is not what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the Chiefs are they lose, they know that they're going to be a different team in the second half. I think the Chiefs are just waiting for everybody to get back. That being said,
Xavier Worthy will be back, by the way.
Right, but they're waiting for Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes has dominated the Ravens. He's just killed Lamar Jackson. So all the historical numbers are strongly in favor of the Chiefs here.
Expect a big Chicago contingent in Las Vegas when the Bears take on the Raiders. According to reports, 50% of the tickets being sold in the Chicago area.
By the way, I came out after Chicago beat Dallas, and I just want to remind everyone, Caleb Williams is not going to play like that every week. And I think we're already it's going to come back to earth. He had 200 yards at his first game, about 200 yards a second, and 300 yards. I think it's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I expect Caleb Williams to have a decent game, but not the kind of game he had against the Cowboys. So I think this could be a get-right game for the Raiders, actually, in my mind.
Interesting. I was thinking about how much is on the line here for the Raiders. It feels like things have cooled off a little bit with Chicago after beating Dallas. Kind of got the dogs off them a little, as far as being the top story and everyone speculating about, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. But for the Raiders, if you can't beat the Bears at home, I think the season's kind of a wash, no? I know you're only a 1.5-point favorite, but this has got to be one of, if you really are serious about turning things around for the Raiders, this is one of those games you got to win.
Yeah, I mean, the win total is 6.5 or 7.5 for them. You got to find the 7 wins. This should be one of them. I agree.
And finally, it is Micah Madness on Sunday night. You got the Packers traveling to Dallas to take on Parsons' former team, the Cowboys.
To me, all the pressure here is on Green Bay. After losing to the Browns last week, and now Dallas is injured. They're I don't know, things are looking pretty bad. They're coming off this loss to Chicago. To me, Green Bay's got to go in here and prove that it was worth it to trade for Parsons, that they are still a Super Bowl caliber team, because there's starting to be a few doubts, at least in my mind, after that loss to the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, the Green Bay obviously has major injury concerns itself. You saw when the 2 linemen went out against Cleveland, it was a disaster. Zach Tom is out for this game, but the Cowboys' injuries are just too devastating, especially CeeDee Lamb. Him not being there, I just can't imagine. Who scares you? Javonte Williams will run over 2 guys in a game. He's played great at running back, but there's just no deep threat there. I feel like Green Bay's defense is going to creep up. And just unless George Pickens has the game of his life, I feel like the injuries are overwhelming for this game, which is disappointing because I would love to see a great game here.
And then we'll save the Monday night previews for Monday because I'm sure you're dying to know what we think about Jets-Dolphins and then Bengals-Broncos.
That's a huge game.
Jets-Dolphins?
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking at 1, 2, and 3 in the draft and quarterbacks. Like, you really don't want to win this game if you're Jets-Dolphins. This is a must-tank situation. So
Who are you tanking for?
I don't know.
That's my question.
But it's September. Did we know Jaden Daniels was worth tanking for? Did we have any idea that Michael Penix was going to be a top 8 pick with 2 rebuilt knees? Like, there's plenty of time for a quarterback to emerge.
There you go.
My point is you need a quarterback. And heck, let's put Kyler Murray and let's put the Saints in there too.
No doubt. 888-710-4ISN. What are you looking forward to the most this weekend? You got the NFL, college football. The Ryder Cup is underway right now, if that's your thing. Baseball, final 3 games of the season, Pro. This is it for multiple teams vying to make the playoffs. Got the WNBA playoffs semifinals going on as well.
NHL preseason, let's not forget that.
It's all there. And speaking of this awesome weekend, well, make it even better. How? Say, Maggie, how?
How, Maggie?
How?
Prize Picks, everybody, because being right can get you paid. Millions of users, billions of dollars in awarded winnings, and we love Prize Picks. Scratch that. We're obsessed with Prize Picks around here because we are crazy sports fans, and so we do love putting a little something on Major League Baseball end of the season. A little something on maybe tonight's Florida State game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all there for you on Prize Picks. All the transactions on the app are fast, they're safe, secure. We can vouch for this personally. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks. And this is my favorite line. It's good to be right. We've made a living off that.
Listen, you cannot count out Randy Pittman. Who's Randy Pittman, you say? He's a tight end for Florida State, and he's getting over 19 and a half receiving yards today, I hope. That'll be fun because UVA, Florida State's kind of hard to watch otherwise. But Prize Picks, so easy to use, simple stats, user-friendly policies. It's the most fan-friendly app to make your picks. All the transactions safe and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, this NASCAR race preview is sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. All right, Manny, make this good. There's a lot on TV this weekend. Sell me, baby.
All right, well, let me tell you, man, it's hard to believe that the NASCAR Cup playoffs are about a month old now, but we continue to roll on. The round of 12 continues with the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet from Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Now, Bogusch told us on Monday, but I remind you today that Ryan Blaney won last week up at New Hampshire, with Josh Berry and William Byron finishing up behind him. Now, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace, they would be eliminated if the round of 12 ended today, but good news for that foursome. There's still this race and another one next week for them to make up ground that's nearly 650 miles. And also good news for Ross Chastain. He's the defending winner of this race. So it's the Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet. The green flag waves on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local.
Okay, that was a great job, Manny. I'm a little confused. The Hollywood Casino in Kansas, I figured maybe Hollywood, Florida, Hollywood, California. Hollywood Casino, of course, is headquartered in Dallas. So geographically, this is quite confusing.
Hey, man, it's a national sport. You know what I mean? We've got a little bit of everywhere. You also got Bristol, Connecticut in there, presented by ESPN Bet.
I mean, the geography is amazing. And you're nailing it, dude. You only have a few more weeks of the season. What are you going to do when it's gone?
I'm going to cry in a corner.
What was the one that stumped me? The Illinois 500 in St. Louis?
Yeah,
the Enjoy Illinois 400 from right
St.
outside
Louis
of St.
suburb.
Louis, Missouri.
Right, yeah.
And now we got a race in Kansas City, Kansas. Not Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Kansas.
Wasn't there a race? Was it New Hampshire where Maggie was surprised by the geography of it?
No, me.
No, I know that Albany is close to Massachusetts. You guys didn't.
I knew.
I didn't.
Yeah, because I know. Because I'm
New
going
Hampshire.
to Albany later this fall, and it's right next to Bennington, Vermont.
Can I complain about something for a second?
That's all you do.
Wow. Jeez, what do you live in my house?
Andy told me.
So he's right. Can I complain about something? And it makes you guys know I'm a little bit of a sports conspiracy theorist. I'm not like a real conspiracy theorist, but okay. So yesterday I had to be on.
Says the real conspiracy theorist.
All right, I got a couple questions about the single bullet, but who doesn't?
Couple questions. You spend hours and hours of your life. There's a giant murder board on your wall in the basement. But go ahead.
Well, I've got questions for the Warren Commission, and if you guys don't, you're a bunch of patsies.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, have you ever had to be on call with customer service about something, whatever it is? This happened to be health benefits related. So, like, oh my gosh, right?
Yeah,
I know I'm getting myself into minimum 40 minutes you have to set aside for something dumb like this.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm sorry, something wildly important. Do you notice that every time you're on with a customer service person, all of a sudden the connection goes bad? Does that happen to anyone else?
I always assume that it's because they're probably on like some kind of cheap headset in a huge call center, and I blame that.
Or they're overseas too is a new thing
But
now.
they're
It's
telling
hard to
me,
keep that.
I'm sorry, ma'am, your connection is bad. I'm like, I don't think so. I think I've made 100 calls today, and I'm sure you have too. But every time it gets to the point where I was like, how do I change this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, we can't hear you. I'm sorry, are you still there? I can't hear you. I can't hear. And I feel like it happens all the time to the point where it almost feels not real.
As if they're like trying to not help you?
Yes. That's where I'm at with this. I think they're using it as an excuse. Anyone with me? No?
They're definitely using it as an excuse.
I don't know.
I'm sorry,
I'm thinking
ma'am,
of our
you're
nightly
cutting it
production
out.
calls. There's definitely some dead spots in that house.
And on yours. No, that's just because I got to stop saying bad things about New Jersey and they're cutting off my my Wi-Fi.
Are you sure? Are you 100% confident that they're not right, though?
Okay, so they say it, I move again. There's no way my entire home is a dead spot. I talk to you guys, I literally am sitting in my closet.
I gotta be honest, I have not had this one.
Okay.
I haven't had that particular one, but I've dealt with all the stuff with my knee surgeries. There's a lot of tricks of the trade that these people do to not allow them to give you money.
Oh,
I was gonna pull up to wherever our guys are, just somewhere, nowhere, Indiana, and just be like, "Hey, man,
with the
you
bum
owe
knee and
me
everything.
money, bro. I just tore my patella tendon." They play games, no question.
Thank you.
This might be a problem, Eric, but know what? I don't like the overly polite Indian in India because they'll say thank you for every little sentence. Like, would you mind holding 3 seconds? Yeah, sure, no problem. Thank you very much. And they get back. Then it's like a 5-minute speech on thank you for holding. I'm like, can you just get me the information and stop saying thank you? You guys never had the polite overseas person?
Just to confirm your identity, can I get the last 4 of your social?
Yeah.
Thank you. 5-7, thank you.
After I just entered all of that information with the touch tone keypad, now it's what's my birthday again? It's like I just gave.
We need some music for Maggie's 1990s stand-up comedy bits. They are amazing. The what's the deal with cardboard? Like you are on the cutting edge of comedy, complaining about this is totally like this is like the Comedy Cellar with Jerry Seinfeld. Now Maggie Gray complaining about teleprompters.
I'm just asking if anyone else has noticed that it cuts. Anyone ever
who's with
noticed?
me, people? Where are you from? Des Moines?
Try the veal.
Just flew in from LA, and boy, are my wings tired. Wait till I go dice clay on everybody. Then it's not going to be so funny.
What's the deal with the guys on the 1-800 call?
I almost just walked into traffic after I was done. It was so annoying.
Well, that would have to probably lead to more phone calls since it was a health benefits phone call.
It was. Ugh. I hate dealing with those people. All right, Bogusch, what do you got?
We got all 4 foursomes now on the course in the morning session of the Ryder Cup on Long Island. The Americans lead 2 of those matches. The Europeans lead 2 others. Now, those 2 European leads are 2 up. 1 up leads for the American groups of Bryson DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, and Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay.
I don't get it.
You shouldn't. The
I thought you were supposed to have the lowest score in this sport. Now it's who has the highest.
Yeah, we're not doing score to par this weekend.
Just enjoy how Bogusch says Schauffele and Cantlay.
Yeah, can I get that one more time, please?
I can give you. I have an entire folder of Anne Lagoria saying golf names beautifully that I have to dip into today.
All right,
we'll see.
Your personal files are weird.
Well, it's not.
It's not my fault.
Bogusch, you tripped into that one. Yeah.
But Anne says here, I can open it up in a second. I give you a whole
let's hear it.
chronological order of golfing legends thanks to Anne Lagoria.
Why do you have this?
I don't know. Your wife's going through the computer.
When did you produce?
No,
Secret folder.
This is my work.
XXX.
My work
Who's
computer.
Ann?
Oh,
This is
yeah.
Ann saying
Who's
Xander
Ann?
Schauffele over and over again.
Why
What
is
are
she
you
yelling
wearing,
for?
Ann, from work?
Louis Oosthuizen.
That's one.
Louis Oosthuizen.
Yeah. Here's Xander Schauffele.
Xander Schauffele.
This is kind
Bill
of normal.
Nicholson.
This is a strange file on both computers. I like it.
This file, I mean, this is a folder of 13 years of drops and TV clips and songs and on-air mistakes.
No wonder
can
there's
I
no
ask
more
you a
space on
question?
our hard drives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question maybe for another time? I know that I have a file, and no one's told me what's in it. Because everyone who speaks into a microphone has some kind of bloopers, outtakes hidden.
Are you talking CIA file or are you talking Andrew Bogusch
I'm on
file?
a no-fly list. No, I am talking about here at the radio station. Everyone has a file. I've asked Chris Lopresti to give me access to this M drive or whatever it is for years, and I don't know what's in it.
I couldn't confirm that there is a file labeled Maggie Gray, but there are general folders with people making with like drops and
because I want to know what I have in there. I think you got to give him a D.
Yeah,
I know what I
it's
have
mostly
here, man.
that.
I know what Michael Pennis.
That's about it at this point. And cursing on a treadmill. So
Yeah,
again,
that was my own
Dice
personal.
Clay, clean it up.
That was my own personal.
The Arizona Cardinals could muster only 6 points well into the fourth quarter of Thursday Night Football, but then got hot.
Murray in shotgun on 2nd and goal. McBride in the slot to the right. Snap to Murray. Drops straight back. Looks left. Short throw to the left. Caught DiMercado 5. Breaks a tackle. Heads for the end zone. Touchdown with 28 seconds left. The Cardinals a point away from tying the game.
So the offense got just hot enough to still lose. Dave Pasch on Cardinals radio. They did tie the game with 28 seconds left. Their rally fueled by Seahawks kicker Jason Myers missing a 53-yard field goal just before that last TD drive would have made the game a two-possession game. But then the Cardinals, their kicker, Chad Ryland, came up short of the landing zone, giving Seattle the ball at their own 40, not far from another field goal from Myers. He hit from 52 this time at the horn. Seattle won 23-20. They've won the last 8 games in this series and their last 8 road games altogether. Head coach Mike McDonald, though, feeling a little lucky post-game.
We didn't play our best game, and we had opportunities, I think, to put the game away, throughout really the second half. And there's a lot of learning experiences, too, that we're going to be able to take from this game so we can improve. But the good news is we figured out a way to win the game.
And they are now 3-1 because of that. Arizona's 2-2. Both those losses coming over the last 5 days, both on game-ending field goals. Do you remember that time in September
the 21st
where
night of September?
Aaron Glenn danced down the sideline while his Jets were returning a blocked field goal for a late go-ahead score Sunday in Tampa? The clip went viral. The celebration didn't age well since the Jets lost the game shortly thereafter, but Glenn doesn't mind at all.
I'm going to never be fake. I'm going to always be me. Some people like, some people don't. It doesn't matter. But I'm glad that people get to see me, my authentic self, no matter what.
More importantly, just
why was that said in the most inauthentic way?
Because it didn't have music behind it.
Yeah, maybe. Is there a name for that dance, by the way? Did we ever just a strut?
I'm the wrong guy to ask. I assumed it was a pre-existing dance that wasn't spontaneous, but maybe.
So he did this as a player. So the Jets and other people have sliced him doing that same dance for when he returned like a pick for a touchdown or a fumble recovery, and it's basically the same dance.
Oh.
So this is his move when he's really excited.
Okay. Yeah, everyone's got to move.
We should get Ray Lewis on the sideline so he can start coaching, so he can bust out that move that he did pregame.
I have no problem with him celebrating, by the way. I don't know how. I don't care that they lost. Like, that was an amazing play. Like, they were dead in the water. Dead. Like, to think that they even made that a game, I had no problem celebrating.
No, that's fine, but it is out of character for NFL head coaches. Like, if Andy Reid started cabbage patching down the sideline, we'd be like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, please,
Andy. I don't think I've ever seen it
I've never seen a coach dancing down the sideline.
You do get the running down the sideline.
The
like
running
Sean
down the sideline.
McVay.
Yeah.
Running,
you get the running excited.
Chest bumping players and stuff. I've seen that stuff.
Oh, Harbaugh will go crazy. Like, yeah, you get some character. The dance, you're right, is unique.
Well, it's like a walk dance. I don't know.
I kind of feel bad for Aaron Glenn. I feel like he's the next defensive coordinator in the He's like, nothing's happening here, right? Like, he has no chance, does he?
Oh, you can't say no chance. This is
I
3
feel
games.
like he's just like every other defensive coordinator they bring into the Jets who's just going to have 3 bad years and go away. I mean, have we seen any indication of anything else happening here?
They almost beat the Steelers in week 1.
Hey-o.
They almost beat the Buccaneers yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
last week.
Robert Saleh was
moral
7-10 with Zach Wilson. I mean, it just doesn't like it just feels like Aaron Glenn had its great opportunity and it landed here.
Justin Fields, their current quarterback, was back at practice yesterday. His latest step in clearing concussion protocols. If he gets medical clearance, he will start Monday night in Miami. The Mets in Miami now for the last weekend of the regular season, still controlling their wild card destiny.
0-1. Cracked in the sky to left and deep. Hap going back onto the track. He looks up. This one is gone. Brett Beatty with home run number 18. 3-run shot off a lefty the other way. 6-0 Mets in the top of the 4th.
Keith
I
Rad.
can't
say a word because the Mets are ruining everything. Keith Rad on Mets Radio. New York an 8-5 win at Wrigley last night after the Reds held off the Pirates in the afternoon. So the Mets still up 1 game for the last NL wild card.
Confidence level. 1 to 10. 10 being the highest. Go quick. Don't even
10's
think
the highest this time?
Go,
let's
quick.
go like a 6.8.
Awesome.
Who's got the tiebreaker?
The Reds.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
That's the problem.
yes, that's the problem.
If the Mets had a tiebreaker, I'd feel very confident.
Who the Reds have?
The Reds have the Brewers.
Are the Brewers going to try to win games?
Well,
Why
so
would they?
But since they don't play in the wild card rounds,
Yes.
You don't want to get too rusty.
right? So maybe not full effort, and with only 28-man rosters now, not 40. There's only certain guys you can take out, and pitching wise, they're going to have to take almost a regular rotation trip here through to make sure guys aren't too far removed from
their last
pitching
start.
before Thursday or Friday next week.
All right.
So that helps a little bit.
I love baseball chess.
The one thing that dawned on me, by the way, is as bad as the Mets have been, the Reds also are kind of mid.
Oh, they stink, dude. The fact that the Mets are in a battle with the Reds is so bad for the Mets.
Yes.
The Reds stink, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're well aware, Manny.
Oh,
Yeah, but all bets
Shouldn't
are
be an
off.
issue.
Just get in the tournament.
No, stop it. Last thing for me.
A lot of wild card teams have advanced. I mean,
the Diamondbacks a few years ago.
Because it happened to his
3
Phillies.
years
That's
ago.
why it's his reference
Diamondbacks.
point. That's all he's got.
Diamondbacks win 84. How many games did they won in the 80s and they got to Game 6? You know?
Yeah. The Mets don't know who's pitching Saturday or Sunday, so
that's true.
Let's calm
Yeah,
down
no
here.
They might,
tonight,
they might
and
pitch
then-
3 starters in one game. True.
And then maybe me or you on Sunday.
And then Maggie comes in for the 8th.
It'd be better if I could kick the ball, really. My gigantic
the
feet. I know. It's a secret
You should be a
weapon.
pinch runner.
Slide feet first. I'm safe midway through.
Paul O'Neill over there.
Yeah.
Is it like Jared McCain doesn't want to play for the Sixers?
I don't know.
Knee injury cut his
man.
rookie season short after just 23 games. Now he's got a thumb ligament tear from a workout this week, and there's no timetable yet on how long he'll be out.
That would be a UCL tear, Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't
his
even know
thumb,
what that
though.
means. Yeah, everyone's all focused on will Joel Embiid play, and meanwhile the rest of the team is getting injured.
I can guarantee you nobody outside of Philadelphia is focused on whether or not Joel Embiid's going to play. We've written him off.
I heard that ESPN led with Embiid the other day. Like, I've written him off, but the rest of everybody's into that guy.
Can't
McCain
trust
is
him.
much more interesting, though. He's outright hysterical on social media. He did this thing about lifting weights the other day.
Oh, that one was funny.
And then he got
Incredibly
hurt.
funny.
And then he got hurt. Yeah, all right.
Hilarious. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you,
Max.
folks.
Wow.
Coming up next. Is this a soft move? Tell you what we mean next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. All right, we'll get back to your calls in just a moment. We've got a huge sports weekend. We're all excited about this around here. Prize picks, just if you're interested. Fun way to kind of combine everything together, and that's really cool. But the Ryder Cup, bro.
Yeah.
Is kind of taking front and center stage because there's been some very creative heckling like this we got from one fan watching Rory McIlroy warm up yesterday.
don't need a button to choke, Rory. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so the visual is Roy's trying to button his collar, and here comes a New York fan, a New Yorker, an outspoken New Yorker. Stop
You don't need a button to choke, Rory.
If you've heard about that before.
Yeah.
So the Europeans were ready for this. They hired a comedian to come in and heckle these guys while they were playing to kind of get them used to it. They put virtual reality headsets on that was like simulating booing to try to play through it.
You suck, jackass.
As professional athletes, Pearl, shouldn't they be able to overcome a heckling crowd without VR headsets and a comedian coming in to get them used to it?
Well, you have,
Price is wrong.
you have 51 weeks a year where you're playing golf and none of this is happening. So it's such an anomaly. I mean, even a rowdy crowd, you're not getting people screaming insults at you. That just doesn't happen at golf. This sounds more like a Duke, North Carolina basketball game or an Eagles crowd. Like, this is so unique for golf.
Yeah, but you are playing in front of these crazy crowds. I know that sometimes they're not screaming at you about choking and stuff like that, but it's not like you're going from playing on your municipal court every week to all of a sudden now there's a gallery of 5,000 people. You're used to the pressure. I guess I just imagine these guys so in the zone that they block out all the noise, whether it's heckling or just people in the crowd, cell phones going off, all that kind of stuff.
What if Tiger has a hissy fit when somebody even opens a flip phone? Like, are you kidding me? You've seen so many times golfers have interacted with fans on the smallest things. I mean, I'm just thinking of Tiger. Tiger would get mad all the time.
I know, but I think he was trying to be that intimidating person. I think if he was lining up for a putt on 18 and it was to win the Ryder Cup or the Masters or whatever it would be, and somebody heckled him, I don't think that it would actually impact his performance. I think that he liked to be that intimidating figure on the golf course.
I don't know. I feel like somebody opens a bag of Cheez-Its from half a mile away. Tiger's like, well, what are we doing here, people? I feel like
he could still drive the ball 400 yards. It didn't actually impact the swing.
He'd pause all the time. Yeah, he would stop all the time, even in his backswing. I don't think this. I think you're underestimating how different this is. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not there right now, and we're watching it on TV. It looks like any normal golf tournament.
Yep.
But I think this is a much, much different vibe than a normal tournament. Even if, generally there are guys that you cheer for. I don't think there's a lot of booing. Like, yeah, you would cheer for Phil. You'd follow Phil and cheer for him and maybe be agnostic towards the other guys, but to actually insult them consistently for 3 straight hours, I don't think that happens.
I just think it's a little soft from professional athletes. Like, yeah, the conditions aren't always going to be absolutely perfect. The crowd might murmur a little bit. You might get a comment or two. That can't be an excuse. Let's go to Stan.
I got washer fluid, and I'm going to put a little oil in, too.
Hey, Stan.
No one now. My phone.
Stan, you there?
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Stan. You get that washer fluid?
How are you all? Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Just walking in the house.
How you been?
So, I'm well. How are you both? And your team. Sorry, not to eliminate anybody. But, here's the Cam thing, right? Who is his stylist? They're so insensitive. The guy dresses like a pilgrim. Doesn't he realize that was the beginning of indigenous slaughter for a couple of centuries? I mean, you can't make it up just for a couple of casino licenses. Like, does he even realize what he looks like?
Well, that's actually, Stan, we had a discussion about this. I don't know about all that, but I want to see Cam mix it up like he used to. He used to be unpredictable. Now he's got the same version of the same outfit with just different colors. Like, I want to see him vary it a little more.
Wait, Stan, so this is going back to Cam Newton called out Tua Tagovailoa. They had a back and forth, but you're talking about Cam Newton, the former MVP, his style, his personal style.
Yeah, and his stylist. I mean, I don't know if they get paid for that getup, but it's pretty wild.
I think he's his own. Yeah.
As far as Tua goes, right? I mean, I think Tua handled it pretty diplomatically, considering how the insult was pretty deep.
Yeah.
The only problem was, and I think we all agree, in that 2024 contract deal, it was an eye-popping number for a guy with all that head trauma and history of danger. Like, he got a huge guarantee, and he had so many head incidents. Like, will he even last? And that was pretty wild that I thought they signed him. And Tariq was key because that combo was like the best in the NFL for a bit, and now it's kind of falling apart.
Stan, thank you for the call, and have a great weekend.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Keep that car running, baby. Totally agree about. We need a new look from Cam. Who am I to say? He's the most fashionable man ever, but I'm getting a little bored.
Coming up next, Nick Kostos going to help us win some money.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Darnold from the shotgun takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Darnold throws back shoulder. It's JSN. Makes the catch inside the Arizona 40. Perfect pass by Darnold. Clock is ticking down. 12, 11. Now it stops. Timeout called. Seahawks get the offense to the line of scrimmage, but Mike McDonald races down the sideline and calls timeout. It was a long way to run for the rest of that offense after the 22-yard completion.
Seahawks end up settling for a field goal there, but it's a game winner, and Seahawks go on to be 3-1 on the season. The Cardinals are now 2-2, and Pearl, this was not a game that was going to be sent to Canton for any reasons, but you and I think, see this very different from the Seahawks' point of view, which is, to me, this was a game where it showed that the coach still doesn't really trust Sam Darnold in a real way for even the good throws that he was making last night. He did make a couple very good ones. To think you can sit on a lead on the road, a one-score lead with 5 minutes left to go, to me, I felt showed a little bit of cowardice. There was a 4th and 2. They could have gone for it, decided to kick a field goal. They missed. Let the Cardinals come back into this game and tie up this game. And I think you're going to lose a lot of football games if you play scared.
Well, I mean, listen, he's establishing an identity very much for this team. They are going to be tough. They're going to run the football. They said it coming into the season. He's followed up on it. It reminds me so much of like the Michigan Jim Harbaugh DNA that Michael McDonald has. And at least he is who he says he's going to be. Like, there's consistency here. Honestly, I'm actually surprised how well Sam Darnold has played there. I thought it'd be a bigger adjustment because he was coming from that pass-friendly offense with Kevin O'Connell to the opposite here in Seattle. So I think 3-1, you're feeling pretty happy. You definitely should have won week 1, too. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking playoffs for this team. I really feel like I wish I put them in as a wild card team. I don't think they're going to make any noise in the playoffs, but I do think that they have a great opportunity to make the postseason.
Okay, we're going to put that game to the side just for a moment because Nick Kostos is ready to go. Of course, the host of You Better You Bet joins us every Friday at this time. Nick, good morning. How are you?
What's going on, guys? Great to be on with you today. And Perloff, the Seahawks are now favored to make the postseason at BetMGM following last night's win. Minus 130 to make the playoffs are the Seattle Seahawks.
What do you think, Nick? Would you take that bet?
You know, I think they've got a good shot. Last night's game to me is probably more about Arizona's broken offense than it is about Seattle's defense. But here's what I will say about Seattle and why I'll give them more of a chance than I might have been willing to prior to the start of the season. I'm not surprised by the Seahawks defense playing as well as it has. Mike McDonald's a fantastic defensive coach. And I said in the lead up to the season that I felt like it wouldn't be surprising if Seattle had a top 5, top 3, maybe even the number 1 defense in football this year. Like, that's how good this defense can be. But what I did not expect was for Sam Darnold to play as well as he has. And I think we all kind of need to recalibrate our thoughts on Darnold because, you know, he has the great regular season last year, but we kind of hand wave it away because the Sunday Night Football regular season finale against Detroit, he's terrible. He's brutal in the Monday Night wildcard loss against the LA Rams. It's like, okay, like same old Sam Darnold, like probably got a little lucky. He's been great thus far in Seattle, and I think my biggest takeaway watching the game last night, and I'm curious if you guys agree, and I can't believe I'm going to say it out loud, I think it's 100% true. If I gave you the option right now, and this doesn't have to be like a 10 years down the road conversation, but at this moment right now, who's a better quarterback, Sam Darnold or Kyler Murray? I think it's Darnold, and I'm not sure it's particularly close. So because Darnold has elevated his game to this level, I do think Seattle's got a real shot to make the postseason.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I was saying, if I was forced to root for Kyler Murray, like if I was a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, I'd be in a body bag right now. I just can't ride the roller coaster like that, Nick. It's just so frustrating. But let's get to some games that are about to happen so we can get your advice on where to put our money. And, let's flip it around this time.
Because I was going to give you, I have so many thoughts on Kyler, and, yes, please.
We'll do that next week when they're about to play their next game. Okay,
great.
Let's start with some major college football games this weekend. Let's go backwards here because you've got some fun stuff. Ole Miss, LSU, afternoon, and then, of course, the twin primetime games of Oregon and Penn State, and then Alabama traveling to Georgia. I'll kind of just toss it up with those three. Is there a play you love on Saturday?
So I really like LSU. LSU to win on the road at Ole Miss, and I'll just say, as the father of a daughter, the Lane Kiffin, his
the photo
just makes me very uncomfortable. This is a storyline that he's amplifying it on social media.
Well, he's Lane Kiffin. Let me tell the audience what it is. So Lane Kiffin's daughter, who's in college or college age, is kind of hard launched, as the kids call it, a relationship. She's an Ole Miss student with Whit Weeks.
What a name.
Whit Weeks,
Whit Weeks, yes.
From LSU. They're dating. And so there's a picture that goes out of this very pretty blonde, Lane's daughter, and this football player, and they're sitting together. She's sitting on his lap, and Lane tweets, "Bet the over," as a response to a betting site.
Yeah, I find this to all be just very weird, and I don't like it as a dad of a girl, but whatever, do whatever the hell you want. So that's kind of a weird backdrop to this game. I love LSU in this game, and I'm curious if you guys or your listeners and viewers, a really educated sports fan base, what you guys think of this, right? Because LSU is undefeated. But I think people will look at what's happened with Clemson and what's happened with Florida and say, well, it can't be that impressive, right? And I don't know how fair that is, because this LSU defense is outstanding, and they've beaten who's in front of them. And the other thing that I think that we need to consider as far as LSU is concerned is that Garrett Nussmeier, who might be the number one pick in next year's NFL draft, or at least a first-round pick at quarterback, has been dealing with a torso injury to start this season. He has yet to blow up. He's one of the Heisman Trophy favorites prior to the start of the season. Brian Kelly saying that he's healthy now. I think that's a big deal here. I think LSU's better than Ole Miss, even with Trinidad Chambliss, all gold, everything set to start in this game. I'll take LSU. And the other two lean for me towards Georgia. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I would bet Georgia if I had to. And I think that if you've got two big game choke artist head coaches, which I think we do with James Franklin and with Dan Lanning, Drew Aller was so bad in that Notre Dame game that I don't know how much I trust him. And this is really Dante Moore, Oregon's quarterback's first legitimate massive college football start. When you have all these ingredients together, and I'm getting more than 3 points, I'll take the points. The same way I would if Oregon were home and Penn State were plus 3.5, I would take the 3.5. I'll take the 3.5 points with Oregon in Happy Valley.
Okay, I got a crazy upset possibility. Not that crazy. What do you think Arkansas hosting Notre Dame this weekend? Notre Dame 4.5-point favorite.
I think it's such an interesting game, and it's one that I circled a couple weeks ago because Notre Dame's defense is so bad. And Notre Dame can claw back into playoff. I obviously can't lose another game, but they've got to win all these games. And the reason why I don't think they can do that, Perloff, is the defense is dreadful. They got to... it ain't working out for Al Golden right now with the Bengals. Maybe we got to get a switcheroo here. Get Al Golden back to seriously.
Yeah.
Their defense is brutal. And Arkansas might not be good, but Arkansas can score. So I've thought a lot about this game this week. I do think Notre Dame's offense is too good. I actually think the number's a little short, where I would lay Notre Dame. My preferred bet, though, and I think if you like Arkansas in the game, I think you almost have to bet the over, because Notre Dame's going to score on this Arkansas defense. And the way Arkansas wins is the way A&M won, to outscore Notre Dame.
Nick, finally from college for me, the Ohio State going to Washington. We talk about Oregon going to Happy Valley. Now Ohio State has to go to Washington. Just these big travel days for these Big Ten teams. 8.5 feels, I can't tell if that's juicy or if that's a sucker's bet to take the points.
So this opened north of 10, 10.5 or 10 for Ohio State being favored. So we've seen a crush of money coming in on Washington. And I think the thought process behind that is, as the weeks go on, Ohio State's defensive performance against Texas and Arch Manning does not look as good as it did following that weekend, right? With the struggles of Arch and the Texas offense. And thought Jed Fish is a really good coach. Washington has a really talented quarterback. That maybe the Huskies, even if they don't win the game, that maybe they could keep it within striking distance. So what I can say is, without knowing the full everything on a college football injury report, Washington's got some stuff going on here as far as injuries are concerned. And there are people that think that this could close back up at 10. So my advice to people would be, if you like Ohio State in the game, and I do a little bit, I think you might have to bet this now, because I think there's a chance that this is going to go back up before kickoff tomorrow. But that's contingent on injuries. So, I'm not trying to make the listeners and viewers do work. I don't have the answers right now. You should have notifications turned on your phone for college football insiders that are tweeting stuff, so you get it before anybody else does. Lean for me towards the Buckeyes. Not a strong opinion for me on the game. I do think Ohio State will win.
All right, turning the NFL, Nick. Chiefs host the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, 5-1 against Lamar Jackson. Never really, and by the way, really performed well against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense struggling, but Baltimore's favored 2.5. What do you make of this game?
Yeah, the Ravens, I think, should be favored. I have no issue with that. Let me ask you guys a question. What's the worst unit in this game?
Baltimore defense.
Kansas City offense.
I agree with Maggie. I think it's the Baltimore defense.
I thought you were looking for something unique. Yeah, okay.
no, that was the Ravens offense. The Ravens offense is awesome. Yeah, I got issues with this Baltimore defense, and the Chiefs won't be able to attack it the same way the Lions did on Monday night. Detroit's run game is electric, 2 great running backs. And just as an aside, I'm curious if we see this. I wonder if we'll see more of Kansas City rookie 7th-round running back Brashard Smith. In all seriousness, he's actually got some burst and some juice. And Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt look like they're running in quicksand. They've got to get some juice in that run game. And the Lions kind of laid a blueprint out of how you can attack them. Now, the Chiefs can't attack them the same way, but Nnamdi Madubuike is going to miss the game for Baltimore. He missed Monday night. Van Noy is likely to miss this game as well for the Ravens. So it's a bad defense, and it's also not healthy. With Worthy playing, maybe I'm the sucker here. I'm going to bet the Kansas City Chiefs here to get off the schneid and get a win. And let's take a ride down narrative street. At the end of the, and I'm not saying the Ravens, I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens won this game 27-14. Seriously. But at the end of the game, I'd rather have my money on Mahomes, Reed, and Spags than Lamar, Harbaugh, and Zach Orr. And that's it. And I'm willing to be wrong, and I'll pay to see it. If I'm wrong, I'll take the Chiefs.
Nick Kostos joining us from You Better You Bet. He joins us every Friday at this time to try to help us win some money. All right, the Sunday night game of big interest to our audience, obviously, with the Packers going to Dallas. 7 points. I'm also curious on what you think about the total, Nick, sitting at 47.5 right now.
I think, this Cowboys, the total's a really hard one to answer because, if this were last week, I think we'd feel really confident about this game going over the total, with Dallas's offense being what it was. Now you take CeeDee Lamb out of the equation. You have 2 of the 5 starting offensive linemen out. This sets up as a possible absolute whitewashing here for Green Bay to Dallas on Sunday night. And I'd like to make the case for Dallas. I really would. Is there an avenue for them to keep this game close? I don't think they're going to win, but can they keep it close? The offensive line is not fully healthy. I think Micah Parsons is probably going to feast in this game. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball effectively here. You take your best wide receiver out. And on the flip side, the Dallas defense, and I don't know, you guys, I've done a slump buster bit all week. I think it's gone over pretty well with people. So yeah, it's, I think if you don't get action for a while, you go out, you find someone, you got to bust the slump. That's the Cowboys.
Nick, we've already said 2025 is the year of the slump buster.
Oh,
this started with Rory McIlroy.
Love it.
Put in the Masters.
Let me tell you something. In my single days, there were a lot of slumps that needed to be busted. and you got to take care of that. The Cowboys are the girl or the guy that you see at the bar at 2:30 in the morning that might not look so good, but listen, you got to do what you got to do. And I think that we're going to see the Packers absolutely smash this defense after getting shut down by the Browns last week. I don't love the bet. I don't know if I'll make the bet. I would never bet Dallas. Packers or nothing.
I'm really shocked that the women at the bar weren't into all that Ohio State Washington stuff, or that wasn't working on them.
Oh yeah, I used to do
the injury report.
I went out to with my friends from is Bogusch with you guys today?
Yeah.
He may remember this. So we had a bar. This is like 2007, 2008. After like I'll shift it serious. And I think I did like a Merrill Reese impersonation for like a girl at a bar that we were at. Like it was like a Deshaun Jackson. Like he's at the 30, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40, and I went through the 10-5.
Oh my!
That's great.
Unless that was Kylie Kelsey, I don't know who that would have worked on.
And I'm a loser.
I did not get laid.
Can you do Harry Callis?
Shocker.
Can I do Harry? No, probably not.
Oh, because that was great. That was a great memory. Can you do? I know
good,
you can do
right?
John Facenda.
I mean, my voice is kind of not really a Facenda voice.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, you should do voiceover, Nick, for certain kinds of things. Like you're right.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Higher.
But
if John Facenda was from Staten Island, that'd be perfect.
Well, I think I would need like a script to read, like to do Facenda properly.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
We'll get you something.
Okay. Your team, the Giants. It's funny. I've seen this spread. I thought it was going to go higher, 6.5, and right now it's 6 on DraftKings on my phone here. The Giants' defense is really good. Is there a chance they keep this really close? I think it's really good. I mean,
you do?
Yeah. I mean, like, well, the Cowboys game, I know, but I thought like they're tough against the Chiefs. Brian Burns should be an Eagle. He's too good to be a Giant. I think they're going to keep this game close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm firmly beaten down as a Giants fan at this point. I have no resistance to offer.
But don't you think that they the Chargers are going to want, I don't know, maybe play a little conservatively and a pretty big spread? I know it's Jackson Dart's first game, but do you see the Chargers going all the way across the country and putting a beat down here?
So I think you want to bet this game one of two ways. I think either the Chargers win by a ton, or the Giants just win. And the Giants' opinion and I think it's way more likely to be the former than the latter.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, if you wanted to make that, I'll try to be as brief as possible with this. If you wanted to make the case for the Giants winning the game, it's two reasons. It's one, like potential ceiling for Jackson Dart. Like we have no idea how good or bad he is. So the thought is like, if he's bad, like they're going to get railroaded. But if he's good, that in concert, and here's the more important part of the equation to me. So last week, the Chargers got away with it against the Broncos because Bo Nix missed 3 wide open touchdowns in the game, like wide ass open. And because of that, we're now talking about how bad this Chargers offensive line was in pass protection against the Broncos defensive front, and that Herbert was getting the crap kicked out of him. And he was great, and he stood in there and he made the throws, but that he's getting the crap kicked out of him all game. So now here's the Giants pass rush against the Chargers offensive line that's having issues in pass protection. So if you marry those two things together, you can get to a Giants outright upset here. I've got concerns about the quarterback in this matchup. It's just something to think about. So Jesse Minter is the Chargers' excellent defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator 2 years ago at Michigan when Michigan won the national championship. The Giants are going to run this week, and maybe in perpetuity with Jackson Dart with Dable as the play caller, they're going to run a college gimmicky offense. Like, that's what they did in preseason when Dart came in and played. That's what he's comfortable with. It's like this Lane Kiffin, like, made-up gimmick offense in college that we'll see if it works in the NFL. But if there was one defensive coordinator that's equipped to stop it, it's the guy that won the national title in college football 2 years ago. So I think this is either Chargers by double digits or the Giants just win outright.
All right, Nick, last one for you. I'm going to give you a toss-up here on all the non-football things, either baseball playoffs or Ryder Cup. What do you have more money on, and where do you see an avenue for the non-football fan who wants to have a little action this weekend?
So I'm not like a golf guy, but all the people that I talk to that I respect bet Europe. So I turned on my country.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah, there's this great line from Bobby the Brain Heenan at WrestleMania 7. Mr. Fuji is managing demolition against Tenryu and Katao, and he hits Tenryu with his cane, and they're all Japanese. And Bobby the Brain Heenan goes, Mr. Fuji, turning against his country for money. I like that. Rest in peace, Bobby the Brain Heenan. So I bet Europe in the Ryder Cup. As far as baseball goes, this will sound homerific because I am a Yankee fan, but I kind of like hate this team. And I don't necessarily even agree with this, but a lot of the people that I respect that bet, and like do well betting, and this doesn't mean that the bet's going to win, but I do want to offer this. Think that the Yankees are going to go to the World Series and at least go to the World Series. Now they need to win the AL East this weekend. That's going to help them out, obviously currently tied with the Blue Jays. But I can tell everybody that professional bettors are interested in the Yankees to at least win the AL pennant if things go well this weekend. Just something to keep an eye out for as the Yankees and the Blue Jays jostle for American League East supremacy.
What is harder to stomach, betting against your own country or betting for the Yankees?
Well, I'm a Yankee fan, so
I know.
So I like that.
That's for the audience.
I'm into that. Yeah.
What is tougher to stomach? Actually getting behind the New York Yankees or turning against your country? Nick Kostos
I have no qualms with betting on Europe. Zero.
By the way,
I love this country. I'm as pro-American as it bets. But you know what? But they're going to lose.
You don't have to defend yourself, Nick. It's all right. We know you turned your turncoat on us.
Okay.
That's fine.
Nick, I got a great book for you. The Bobby Heenan autobiography. You ever read it, by the way? Greatest wrestling autobiography you'll ever read. 70 pages dedicated to Andre the Giant's gas problems.
I love that. I used to read a lot of the wrestling autobiographies or biographies, and I don't know why that's slowed down for me. I will say, I've been looking for like a TV show. I don't know if you guys care about this. I'm looking for a TV show to watch. Like my wife and I are like searching for like a show that like both of us will like. Did you guys see? So it's like Jesse Williams, I think is the name of the actor in the show. They were running commercials for it during the game last night. It's called like Hotel like Casa Torre or something.
I saw the commercial a bunch of times.
It's set on the Amalfi Coast, we love Italy, and it's like this, like he's like an FBI agent, like on the Amalfi Coast at some sick hotel. Like this show was made for me.
But I have
I'm
some
gonna
issues.
watch that show.
Actually, that show was made for women.
You know what? Well, something's unsaid there.
Nick, he's like beating guys up in the commercial, but he's like 5'9". Then you like go like he doesn't seem big enough to be a tough guy for me. I was kind of wondering,
what are you, a heightist? I know you're tall.
Is he like an expert at Craw McGraw? How's he beating up these big guys all the time?
What do I look like to you? Wikipedia? Like I know this
I
guy's
just like I couldn't buy him in this role. I feel like
have you ever seen a Mission Impossible movie? Tom Cruise is my height when he's wearing stilts.
Yeah, and I don't know, but he's having to use trickery to beat people. There's like Jesse's just kicking butt in this commercial. I didn't buy it.
Trickery? Have you ever seen a Mission Impossible movie?
Yeah, but Tom Cruise isn't doing fist fights. That was Henry Cavill. Like Tom Cruise is putting on fake faces and doing all kinds of stuff and jumping up planes.
I don't even know who Henry Cavill is.
He's the guy with the mustache in Mission Impossible 6 who has that epic fight in the bathroom.
So you're you love Mission Impossible.
No. I just know that movie.
But you were like, oh no, he's the mustache
you know who Henry
in this specific one.
Wait, sorry. EJ. Nick doesn't know who Henry Cavill is.
That's kind of crazy. He was the last.
Even I know who he is.
He was Man of Steel.
Superman.
Yeah, not the new Superman, the last one. The bad one.
You're too busy watching sports, Nick. You have no idea what's going on out there.
You're right. No, you're
Jeez,
you're
Nick,
right.
Get a life.
Making money.
I know. Nick's doing it the smart way. So that
EJ's a nerd, right? I am also. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
EJ, I will be getting Ghost of Yotai, I think is how you pronounce it, for PS5 when it comes out next week. So that'll be one of my guilty pleasures coming up.
Well, I ask you, between all of us, who's closest to a vacation at the Amalfi Coast?
Russell Wilson.
No, is it us or is it Nick Kostos?
Oh, I'm going to Italy next year. It's me.
And you're making all this money, and that's why you are the one closer to the fancy hotel on Amalfi.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
Right.
I won't go to Amalfi Coast. I don't like those windy roads over the ocean. Like you take a wrong left turn, you're flying off into the
Let me tell you, I'll speak on behalf of all Italians. We don't want you there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fine. I'm going to stay inland. I don't like those mountain roads.
Perloff, more of a Tuscany guy. Yeah. Everyone knows
you
that.
ever driven to Rome, by the way?
No.
It's insane, dude.
It's a great. Do you watch the Stanley Tucci show?
I've seen it,
one? The food one?
Yeah. But he goes to all the places in Italy. So my wife has been to like a ton of places in Italy. I've only been once. We went for our honeymoon. Went to Amalfi and we went to Sorrento. And I'm dying. I think I want to go like my next 5 vacations just to different places in Italy. I'd also like to go back to Japan. So I have not been to Rome, but I would say Rome and Venice would be the two that would be next on my list.
Well, Nick, you got to go back to Japan to get a new tat. We know that, right?
Yeah, well, you don't. That's the good news. You don't have to go to Japan to get Japanese tattoos. I could go, a half an hour into Manhattan and take care of that. And I will be doing that next year. I'll get my left arm finished.
Fantastic. Nick, thanks so much for all the advice. You can watch and listen to Nick Kostos on You Better You Bet. Hi to Femi as well, and we appreciate it.
You got it. Wishing everyone minimal sweats winning bets the absolute very best of luck. Don't ask Bogusch for too many stories of when we used to go out back in the day. They will not be flattering for yours truly.
I'm shocked that Merrill Reese thing didn't work.
Me too. Yeah, me too. At the moment, I felt really good about it. At the moment.
I'm sure you did. Thank you, Nick Kostos. All right, we got to take a quick break here. I'd love to know from the group, do you ever have to do any kind of impersonations to try to woo a woman? You guys can all noodle on that. Got a lot more to do, including is one college football coach being kind of soft. Do that next.
I did not get laid.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie Perloff. Maggie asked a question. Was this on air?
I hope not.
Do you ever have to do an impression to try and win a woman over in a bar?
That was on air.
That was on air.
It was on air because Nick Kostos did an impersonation of Merrill Reese, who does
I did not get laid.
play-by-play for the Eagles, to try to close the deal with a woman at a bar. Said Bogusch was present for this.
I did not get laid.
It didn't work.
Yeah, shockingly, it didn't work.
I said, unless she was hitting on Kylie Kelsey, I don't know who this would work on. You have to find a woman who's the most diehard Eagle fan alive.
Maybe D from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Or was Jennifer Lawrence's character in...
Oh, Silver Lining.
Yeah, was she an Eagles fan too?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. She was amazing in that movie. But I always love hearing Maggie's sort of advice on how to get a woman.
Yeah, not a Merrill Reese
It's so... It always comes out so weird. I don't know. Like, what would you be... Obviously, an impression won't work. What does work? Men want to know.
Marv Levy.
Only after the age of 80.
Well, somebody
I'm not Jordan
Steve
Hudson,
Levy.
guys. Jeez.
Yeah, like what is the what do you want? Funny? Do you want aloof? Do you
Marv
want
Levy single?
Well,
smart? Do you want? Is it all about looks? Like what? If the impersonation doesn't work, and I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'm doing charades in the bar to try to go home. No, it depends what
Bruce
kind.
Smith pass rush.
What are you looking for? What that particular evening? Am I looking for a boyfriend? Am I looking for a good time? And I'm speaking for all women here, not just myself. I'm just saying, like, you got to find the right. What mood are you in?
Okay,
So
it's
that
not
depends
one
on what
size
kind of
fits
guy
all.
you're looking for.
All right.
Some guys are marrying material. Some guys are not.
So
You got to know the difference.
But say it's a neutral field, and a guy walks up to you like
The Rose Bowl?
Is being funny the number one thing?
It's the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
The
You're,
neutral field.
Yeah, no, you're playing a 9:30 a.m. Europe game. A guy comes up like, is being funny important? Like, I'm really looking at Manny. Like, well, we need advice from Manny. Obviously, talking sports is not good. For you, it worked.
Yeah, for me it worked.
But
I met my husband
generally,
talking
like
about the Mets.
Nick just to talk about the spread in the Ole Miss LSU game is not going to work.
I'm going to be honest. I think Big Friendly kind of nailed it with this one.
Yeah, it's the smell.
It's the smell.
Be in smelling range.
Actually, quickly. All right, Friendly. I'm backing you up here on smell is one of the most important things that a man can do to try to rope in a woman. Good morning, sir.
Magsy, am I lying? Good morning, the great Mag Ramsey. EJ, the Bionic EP. Daddy 3-0 Cool. Little Big Swifty. The man, the myth, the legend that walks among us, Manny Wapo. Good morning, and thank you for taking my call. And real quick, Manueli, when you approach a woman, it's confidence. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
We're screwed. Yeah, that's it. Priesthood.
Daddy Cool.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
Congratulations to your Eagles. And I want to touch on what you guys said about that loss. A loss like that can do one of two things to a team. It can ruin your year, or it can turn you into a monster. I think what the Eagles did to the Rams just may have turned the Rams into a monster.
Uh-oh. Woke up a sleeping giant.
Yes, sir. And since we're talking impressions, and you guys love the WWE, I'm a big WWE fan. So I'm going to give one for you, Daddy Cool. Can I do this for you?
Definitely.
Okay. I'm going to give you some LOD. Tell him, Hawk. Well, it seemed to be the Rams bit off just a little bit more than they can chew on Sunday. And Daddy Cool, the Rams will see the Eagles again down the line because there's pretenders, there's contenders, then there's the Eagles. Oh, yeah, what a rush. Oh, yeah. Tell me, Daddy Cool.
Yeah. I don't know who you were, but that was amazing.
The LOD, baby. Legion of Doom.
Oh, okay.
This product is free for everybody. This is amazing.
That was great.
Big Friendly, thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. And I agree with you about the Rams. I think that Daniel Jones is in for all he can handle when the Colts come to visit after how the Rams lost against your Eagles with Jordan Davis running back that block kick for a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't see the Rams being like a 13-4 team, though. I feel like, that loss to the Eagles didn't feel uncharacteristic for them. Like, they beat the Texans in week 1, but it's a lot of it's often ugly, right? Like, they're often in a dogfight.
I think it's because McVay gets conservative.
Yeah, I think you're right. You've actually complained about that. That must be why. I feel like they find a way to make games close. Even this game against the Colts, they should really throttle them. But do you trust that McVay won't do the same thing and make it a close game?
Yeah, maybe not. Let's get to Bogusch. Unless you've got more Nick Kostos stories about him doing impersonations of sports play-by-play people to try to close the deal with women at a bar.
Yeah, no, nothing tops Merrill Reese to a non-Eagles fan. And I'm a loser. I still am. The U.S. began the opening session of the Ryder Cup with the energy, with the momentum, thanks to that home crowd at Bethpage. Then Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas won the very first hole of the event. But basically nothing has gone well since then. The Americans now trail in 3 of the 4 foursomes. The other one is even because Patrick Cantlay missed a relatively short putt, and that continues to be the general issue for the U.S.
Can't lay it up.
Back to you, Manny.
No, that was good.
Oh, come on, dads.
You
had to appreciate that.
I see you,
My
Manny.
work here is done.
Oh, Bogues.
I'll be here.
No, I got nothing. I've been one-upped.
I'll be here.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll be here for the next 20 minutes, America.
You think girls like
dad jokes?
Dad golf jokes? No. Maybe a
right?
certain genre of divorcees who are looking for a man with money.
The women that were getting on the Long Island Railroad this morning.
I was going to say, if you want to go hang at the 19th hole.
Yeah.
Man, forget all that. I'll just go to LA Fitness after the show and go to the gym. You know what I mean?
I've already told Manny that we should take a walk to the local Trader Joe's at 10 a.m.
No, the way he speaks about women at that Trader Joe's.
I'll leave you there for a half an hour, come back and pick you up when you're done.
Are you kidding me?
The amount of beautiful people in that tiny store every morning is remarkable.
You want to know what? I went there recently. I ran into Madeline Burke. Speaking of beautiful women, you could run into the Giants sideline reporter.
I would be in there for 90 seconds and then the anxiety would eat me up.
Yeah, the problem is the competition, because while you're there for the beautiful women, there are also very handsome men coming all from the gym this morning that are in there as well. So there's a lot going on
probably
there.
As well.
I don't think Rick's there.
You don't think Rick's there?
Although their studio is nearby,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he might be there one day.
Just eat your feelings and those delicious plantain chips they have. They're so good at Trader Joe's.
The plantain chips are good.
The second you say Trader Joe's, my mind immediately goes to food. I'm like, okay, you're talking they have this frozen beef and bop. It's amazing.
Yeah. And now all the pumpkin baked goods around.
Oh, it's great.
Andre got some pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies.
One thing that will help you, Manny, you will be competing with me because I always go to that Trader Joe's. So, you can stand next to me and then you'll look fine. You don't have to worry about handsome men in my house.
Here's the issue with me hanging out with you, though. You look like Shaquille O'Neal and I look like Kevin Hart.
You're sure?
That's your icebreaker.
That's tough. I don't know if I like that one as an icebreaker.
So there are Kyler Murray takes, and then there's this from Kirk Herbstreit last night on Amazon Prime.
Look at guys in his own draft class, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. Those guys raised the offense. They raised everybody, the coaches, to believe, right? That's the one thing that you'd love to see more of from just from Kyler Murray. We know what he can do. We know how talented he is, but does he give you that same feeling over these last 7 years that Josh Allen gives, or that Lamar Jackson gives you? Another guy in that 18 class just gets your guys to believe.
Well, that's the 18th. He was a year later. He comes in the next draft.
Oh, okay. Now
you are diabolical for doing this.
Here we go.
I didn't do anything.
What is that?
All of us sitting here have made grievous mistakes on the air, right?
We've all been there. But that's why I feel like this is like karma, like it's going to come back around.
No. The issue, I'm sure it will because I'm me. I've got a game tomorrow that I'm sure I'll mess up. But the problem with this one is that it cuts at everyone's critique of Herbstreit that he's not prepared for NFL broadcasts. And his point is not necessarily wrong that Kyler Murray doesn't do the things that those guys do. They're just not from the same draft class.
Okay, so what was also a bummer about this for Herbstreit was that they did this whole Baker Mayfield thing earlier in the game where they had a graphic of Baker and all the Baker stuff, who obviously he was the first overall pick.
Yeah.
And so Kyler was also the first overall pick.
Yeah, why were they doing
I
that,
felt
Baker?
terrible for him because I'm like, you're going down this road. You're making a salient point about how Kyler's not a rah-rah guy, like a leader.
Rah-rah football.
Rah-rah football. And everybody in the stadium's booing him. It was just you had the draft class wrong.
Why did they do that Baker graphic early in the game? I didn't understand. Why were they talking about
football?
him? By the way, Herbie went to, I watched this guy in college a lot last night.
I wonder why.
Did it big time with Marvin Harrison, did it big time with Trey Benson. Like, he's starting to lean on that more and more. The truth is, he's seen more Marvin Harrison than anybody. I mean,
more than Kyler Murray.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing when he's talking about individual guys who are still young.
He does know exactly.
Right.
Marvin Harrison's 23 years old. He's definitely watched him a lot more than the NFL guys.
Especially because
Trey Benson too.
Especially because there are a lot of NFL fans who don't watch college football. I know that's crazy for some people, but like if you live in certain areas, especially Northeast, for example, like they don't know these guys,
And vice versa.
Right,
Maybe there's a lot of
exactly.
people in the South who could take or leave the NFL, but really love college.
Yeah.
But the weird thing, too, is almost everyone who's watching knows who Kirk Herbstreit is. So, like, he can make these points without the qualifier of, I saw him in college. Like, he can just talk about them, and we'll know that that's coming from the fact that he just was doing their games on ABC like 18 months ago. The fact that he almost introduces his vantage point a lot is weird to me.
And that got him in trouble with that point because he's trying to go back to that bag of, well, I watched these guys in college, and you did, but just not in the same year Kyler Murray was at Oklahoma.
Well, actually, probably didn't watch Josh Allen much. I can't imagine.
They didn't make ABC.
He didn't make the big game.
Maybe not Josh Allen.
Kyler last night.
Wyoming against Utah State?
Sacked 6 times, charged with 2 picks against the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. He did throw 2 fourth-quarter TDs to erase a 26-hole, but Seattle's Jason Myers hit a 52-yard field goal as time expired for a 23-20 win. Sam Darnold leading his 7th game-winning drive since the start of last season.
When you get in those 2-minute situations, we run through those situations so much in practice. So, at the end of the day, that's all I can do is just, be me. Our guys go out there and not do too much and just do whatever the play is called. And if we got to make an adjustment from there, we go from there.
The Seahawks now 3-1. They extend their road winning streak to 8 games. The Lakers have Luka Doncic signed long-term. They've now extended J.J. Redick after just 1 season, but LeBron still only under contract for the coming season. GM Rob Pelinka addressing that situation yesterday ahead of training camp.
The first thing we want to do in terms of LeBron and his future is just give him absolute respect to choose his story with his family in terms of how many years he's going to continue to play. He's earned that right, and he's the best one to talk about that in terms of how many years he'd like to play.
Good heavens. He's like 50.
And he's not done yet.
Evidently.
I think that this is the way I read into this, and forgive me, I didn't watch the whole press conference, so I'm a little off the cuff here, but it's kind of like, listen, if he wants to leave, we'll let him leave.
Leave for another team, you mean?
Yeah. Hey, if he wants to finish this out, somewhere else,
Dallas,
Cleveland, we'll let him go.
I mean,
it's really up to LeBron.
I don't want to crush whoever Dan Wilkins. And it wasn't no reason to crush him from the Athletic, but just the way he kind of outlined the situation for Luka Doncic being the future of the Lakers, and LeBron was very explicit in terms of his article getting ready for the season. He said, I'm just read real quick. He has the marketing power, talking about Luka, the marketing power of Jordan Brand, the global brand recognition of the Lakers, and on-court charisma to spare. A face so suited to lead a franchise that he instantly displaced 40-year-old LeBron James as the organization's guiding star. That's coming from a guy who's covering the team every day, so he's not getting that from nowhere. They are done with LeBron James.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we got to take a quick break, folks. Thanks so much, and good luck, Fordham Holy Cross tomorrow.
Ooh, throw out the record
Crusader
book.
Cup. Let's
Wow.
go.
All right.
Gordy Lockbaum, former Holy Cross star, right?
Sure.
Ram Crusader Cup?
We'll get a Bob Cousy mention in tomorrow, too. Why not?
It is a blood.
Can I go?
Bloodbath.
You can't.
Okay, coming up next,
Why do you hate me?
one college coach said something that I feel like is a little soft. So let me know if you agree. We'll do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff Show. That is our King of the Mountain music, Pro. We've got an update. Our search for the greatest NFL team of all time has this week pit the 84 San Francisco 49ers against the 83 LA Raiders. And let's all just make a pact to keep this from our pal Amy Trask.
Oh, yeah.
It was a whitewash. Yeah. I mean, honestly, how are you going to compete with that kind of song and that kind of team? The 84 Niners beat the LA Raiders 79% to 21%. That was the poll on X.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't know who knocks off this Niners team. There are not a lot of teams. On the NFL 100 list, they're ranked number 3 all time. It's a good team.
We will rock you till we win the fight.
So catchy. Now I'm going to have that in my head the rest of the day. So we will bring you a new matchup. Now the 49ers remain the king of the mountain, Pearl, and they'll get a new contender on Monday.
Yeah, I'd like to see one of the new teams match up. We've had a lot of 70s and 80s. It's a randomized spin. I'd like to see, I don't know, 2024 Eagles. Let's see the Niners tackle Saquon Barkley when he's jumping over them backwards. This would be like, what is that?
Who is that man from the future? Anyway, So that's our Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project. And again, we'll continue on with the 49ers as the King of the Mountain next week. Meanwhile, I'm curious if you think that Lincoln Riley from USC has a good point here, or if it just sounds a little bit like whining or a loser's lament. Here's Lincoln Riley, not pleased. Last week, they had the late kick against Michigan State, right? And now this week, Michigan State? Yes. Yeah. Now this week, they've got to travel east to come play Illinois big noon kickoff.
Going from the, absolute latest kick in the country to the absolute earliest kick in the country has its challenges, but the challenge is it is what it is, right? We don't make the schedule, and so clearly, and so we've had to adapt a little bit in the way that we prepared and how much that we've done.
Okay, more from Riley about what they had to change about their approach to practice this week.
We've tried to be mindful of getting our work done, but at the same time knowing that we need to take a fresh football team. We need to put a fresh football team on that airplane.
Yeah. Pearl, does he have the right to even, kind of point this out and kind of if he was miffed about this, the latest kick in the country last week, earliest this week, does he have a right to complain?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you have to lobby as a college football coach, tell the committee, hey, we have excuses in here. Unfortunately, it's a beauty pageant. So I understand I probably would do the same thing as a coach. And also, too, just at 9 a.m. Pacific start, it's not good in any sport for a West Coast team.
No, I'd probably maybe bet a first half under, something like that, if you're trying to take advantage of it. But here's the thing. You have an Illinois team that just got dusted last week against Indiana, a game that we thought was going to be close. Illinois was a darling team for a lot of people in the Big Ten. How do you think they respond to that with regards to USC now coming to town?
I mean, USC beat Purdue and Michigan State, right? We have no idea. I think this is a way better matchup for Illinois. Apparently Indiana is a super team.
Yeah,
I did not realize this. I would expect Illinois to bounce back here. In part, it's, I'm such a cliche, but I always bet when the Raiders go to the East Coast, I'm always betting against them and feel like USC, we knew when the Big Ten started, we were going to get some funny stuff. I mean, this has a lot to do with Fox as well, but if they really wanted to play, stay in the Pac-12 and keep that conference together. USC screwed the whole thing up. It's their fault anyway, so there's no real excuse. Do you think? It sounds like you think Lincoln Riley might be soft here.
No, I worry about the messaging to your team. You basically just gave him a built-in reason to lose. And I don't know if they're listening to everything he says, but you I don't know if you planted the seed. I don't know what he's saying behind the scenes, but you basically just said wow, you could use it as we're getting hosed here and everyone's against us. That's going to be a tough sell when it's USC. Or it's, we're not. It's going to be hard for us to be at our best because of the time.
No, I think the players are more focused on knowing the playbook and setting their alarm for 6 o'clock that morning. They have a lot going on. Like you said, I'm not sure they all heard that. Honestly, also, this is going to sound mean. If you play for Lincoln Riley, you probably already think your coach is a bit soft. What? I mean, come on. You're an offensive team. That's the thing about Lincoln Riley teams. Big games, can they be tough enough? I really have wondered about them in the Big Ten. It just doesn't feel culturally like a fit still. Like they shouldn't be playing Illinois at noon Eastern.
Does feel a little odd. Okay, guys, huge sports weekend. What's the number one thing? Of all this, we got baseball, we've got Ryder Cup, we've got college football, we've got NFL. What's your number one thing you're looking forward to?
Oh, for me, it's that late afternoon Sunday. We got baseball going on simultaneously with Ravens, Chiefs into Cowboys, Packers. I don't know if the Cowboys-Packers is going to be a good game for the whole thing, but that is the sweet spot right there.
Penn State whiteout.
Jackson Dart's debut.
Wow. Bill Saint. I'm just kidding. No,
I think
I'm looking forward.
God.
I want to. I'm actually dying to know how the baseball season ends, and obviously, can't wait for. And I'm the only one who wants to watch Alabama, Georgia. I guess it's me. Thank you to EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan. Thank you to Nick Kostos, who joined us. Thanks for a great week. Enjoy the sports crazy.